Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2026 live Draw Watchalong presented by Moneris. My name is Adam Jenkins. The gentlemen sat with me as we take in an historic day are Gareth Wheeler and Jordan Wilson. We will be on the air for the next 2 hours or so as we go group by group, as we learn the order of teams and the groups themselves for the upcoming big show in the summer. We'll be joined by Mackenzie Barwell, who is live at Real Sports in Toronto, watching with the supporters, Oliver Platt, who is live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, ahead of the Vancouver Whitecaps and Inter Miami in MLS Cup, and Christian Jack as well will join us. I don't know that he is in the Kennedy Center, but he is certainly in the District of Columbia. So as we go through the day, a couple of housekeeping notes. You will not see the draw here. What you will see is the groups as they are live updated. We'll also get some insight from our pals. So let's start with you, Jordan Wilson, because this, amongst all of the days with countdowns and previews and think pieces about the World Cup, kind of feels like we're finally actually getting close to the World Cup kicking off.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I kind of want to just, obviously, like everyone, see what these next 2 hours hold and see where Canada's going to be and who's going to be in the group, but also the group of death and all these beautiful things. But I think now after today, you can start to prepare a little bit, Wheels. Like, I know you're shaking your head a little bit. You probably don't love
just on the group of death. No. Continue. Go. I haven't decided what mood I'm going to be in today, but continue on. Cool. Go ahead.
Nice.
Go ahead.
It could be a fun 2 hours, but no, for me, I just think
better than Kevin Hart. That's all I got to say. Better than Kevin Hart. Sorry, Jordan. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I'm almost done. I was just saying, once we can figure out the other three teams that are in Group B, I mean, then we can start having real conversations about this day. But it's exciting. Exciting to get things kicked off.
Gareth Wheeler, how you feel?
Yeah. I mean, it's coming to fruition, isn't it? There's no other way to put it. The 48-team World Cup makes this draw less relevant in terms of getting out of the group. Let's be honest here, 32 teams are going to be advancing from the group stage. And if you're not good enough to be 32, and that's typically the amount of teams in a World Cup, then so be it. You probably shouldn't have been there in the first place. But what it does do, and what's important from the Canadian perspective today, is it provides a pathway in order to win the group. That's the only way that I see Canada really going deep in this tournament, if they go on and win their group. That's a virtual must here. So look, a group of death, you're not going to see a typical group of death here. I'd be shocked. It might be the group of near death, but certainly not a group of death. And yeah, it's just about the picture becoming clear. There's going to be pomp and circumstance here today. It's highly political. I'm watching Andrea Bocelli on the screen right now. It's like a tribute to Donald Trump. Spare me all that nonsense. What I want is just the football. And we're going to speak the unvarnished truth here on this stream today. So sit back, get involved in the chat. We want to hear what you have to say, and we'll take it from there.
Well, that's exactly right, Gareth Wheeler. So drop in any thoughts, questions, comments you might have in the chat. We'll keep an eye on that. You're going to see a lot of
Calgary
and shoulder
proper
and
event in this country. Calgary
right.
88 before either one of you guys was born.
Greg
Shout
Lawrence,
out to Calgary.
Greg Lawrence saying Austria, Qatar, New Zealand, let's go. I personally would absolutely love to see that group coming through. You know how I feel if you've watched OneSoccer for any amount of time about the Kiwis. But yes, you'll see a lot of eye darting. Of course, we're watching the draw live with you as it happens. We will not necessarily go word for word on what's happening, but we'll, of course, give you all the pertinent updates. It's a nice way to watch if you're at work.
Thanks for providing a refuge from seeing Kevin Hart and Donald J. Trump. That's what we're here for.
Not wrong.
Program.
Not wrong in the slightest. Okay, so again, this is the 2026 live draw watch along powered by Moneris. It's Adam Jenkins, Gareth Wheeler, and Jordan Wilson with you. We are hoping to soon head to Real Sports in Toronto. We'll check in with Mackenzie Barwell because for a lot of people, Gareth, I imagine this is one of the big milestones of the World Cup. When you think of the day that it was announced Canada would co-host this tournament with everyone, this is one of the touchstone points that supporters added to their phone calendars, etc. It sounds like Mackenzie Barwell is ready, so let's bring her in now and check in on the scene. By my quick math, it is just after noon in Toronto. I have had a beer at an earlier time in the past, but I completely give the supporters their green light, Mac, to enjoy the festivities however they so choose. What's it like down near Scotiabank Place?
Thanks, Adam. Yeah, it is rowdy over here. Okay, you guys, I had some technical difficulties. I had to leave the actual bar because it
They
was
kicked
so
her out.
loud.
It doesn't look rowdy behind you.
No, listen,
No
I'm
one
in the
behind
hallway
you.
now. I'm in the hallway now because I had to leave. It was so loud. Doors opened around 11, and honestly, people were keen. They started coming in as soon as they could. And I think you're right on the money with the idea that this is a huge milestone. I think, Adam, you referred to it as sort of the start whistle of the World Cup. So yeah, you can sort of feel the buzz in the air. Not the hallway. Maybe I don't want to hear any more chirping from you guys, but trust me, as you can see, people are coming in and out. It's going to be an exciting one.
Well, we got Heidi Klum and Kevin Hart right now starting this off, which is not what I would have picked when we first heard about the draw, but not a bad duo either.
Do you know what it looks like on the screen right now? It looks like Peter Crouch and Michael Owen.
Oh, dear Lord.
Just in terms of the height difference.
Mac, as you've been in and around listening in, I'm not going to say eavesdropping per se, but as you've heard conversations and talked with the supporters, is there like a fear that Canada might get a tough group? Is there one or two nations in particular that the supporters want to see drawn into Group B?
Yeah, well, totally. Honestly, I didn't have to try very hard to eavesdrop because everybody got this prediction card when they walked in. So people are filling out what they think they might see after this draw. And I think you're hearing a lot of who they were hoping not to see, maybe, as opposed to who they want, right? So obviously those tough UEFA European pathway teams. But if I may share, you guys.
You may. The floor is yours.
I've got Croatia, Paraguay, and Ghana. So maybe we do avoid those European teams, but I feel like if we do, we're just going to get the toughest of the remaining. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It sounds like a tough group to me.
I love that group.
If that does end up being that way, I think we've learned a thing or two about Croatia and what that looks like in a World Cup. Anything else you're picking up from the Voyageurs, Mac, as you're in and around them? I know, I think everyone's like, when is this draw actually going to get started? We think it'll probably be around 12:30 p.m. Eastern time by the time spheres are actually drawn. But as Eli Manning graces our screen, what else are you picking up from the Voyageurs?
One of the
Kevin Hart already. Oh my God. Sorry, go ahead.
One of the things that I appreciate and that I've liked that I've seen inside Real Sports is the amount of obviously Canadian fans. Everybody's wearing a jersey, but there's also a lot of people who are repping their second nations. So you're seeing maybe a scarf of a different team or a hat. I've seen a couple Scotland hats. So it's just cool to see the versatility, I guess, of the fans and the demographics that you're seeing in there. I think there's more to look out for other than Canada's draw. People are definitely considering their second nations.
Okay, Mackenzie, thanks for popping in. We'll chat with you a little bit later. Go back inside and enjoy the event and say hi to the Voyageurs for us. Mackenzie Barwell live at Real Sports in Toronto as we expect to be about 15 to 20 minutes away from the first spheres being drawn. We will soon learn, Canada's path to the knockout round. Oliver Platt will join us shortly here on the live draw watch along powered by Moneris. Wheels, any opening thoughts on the acts? There was a nice round of applause for Haiti when they were shouted out for making their second World Cup.
I can't hear anything on my screen right now. I'm just seeing Kevin Hart and Heidi Klum. So yeah, like I said, there's pomp and circumstance. I mean, the celebrity factor is just part of this event, but I think people just kind of want to see the way that this 48 team draw is going to shake out. A reminder, this is completely new. Another reminder, we will not know the schedule today. We'll kind of know who plays who and what the groups look like, but the schedule won't be announced until tomorrow. So they're dragging this out. The other thing to keep in mind is they're keeping the 4 top seeds away from one another in terms of what that will look like in terms of the playoff round. So they're all on individual sides, quadrants of the bracket as well. So there are some changes compared to previous years. And like I said, the biggest one is 48 teams. It's just, it's going to be watered down to a certain degree. There's no doubt about that. As much as we're worried about who Canada may get, I mean, I'm not so worried because there's no chance that Canada will have a tougher group than they had at the last World Cup. And I thought that despite not coming away with the victory, they played admirably. And a lot of things can happen, by the way, between now and June. And Canada, to be honest, they're avoiding the best teams. They're avoiding the number ones. They're avoiding the Spains, the Englands, the Frances of the world, and that's kind of the biggest key for me there. But I think that every other nation nation that's going to be drawing those pots will hope that they get Canada. It's just they're the team that you want if you're in pot 2, pot 3, and pot 4. And that's something to keep in mind. There might be teams that we prefer Canada not to get, but they're going to be the perceived underdog or the least likely team to make noise in this tournament of the top seeds, the teams that are going to be in pot 1.
For me, hoping that the U.S. get grouped if they get a tough draw today. I don't know how easy it is to get grouped this time around. It feels like so many of the 36 will go through from the 48, like over 3/4 of the field will.
32.
32
is it? 32. It's the 12 group winners, the 12
group
runners up, and then the 8 best third seeds. So. Yeah, it's going to be very difficult not to get out of a group, considering some of the nations that are qualifying for this World Cup. But then you start looking at what that knockout draw will look like and what that path. That's what interests me the most, Adam, is kind of where you go from the group, whether you win it, whether you come in second place, and that, let's be honest, should be the expectation for Canada here. If they don't win or at least finish runners up in the group, then the World Cup will not be one that we could deem even moderately a success.
Wonder if the math works out for a team to go no wins, 1 draw, and 2 defeats, and somehow that ends up being one of the best third place. If there's a lot of heavy sides, that would be pretty crazy. But yeah, Matt Bernacki is right. 1 win in your group, and you're essentially through from that stage. Let's do this, because there's a few things we know. Gianni Infantino, president of FIFA, on screen right now, is doing his opening remarks. Let's go through some of the things that were predetermined even before the day got underway in terms of who we know are in certain groups, the pots themselves, and sort of the nuts and bolts of the rules and structure of the draw today. We'll get the pots up on the screen. So obviously the 3 co-hosts, Canada, Mexico, USA, all in pot number 1. They have been pre-assigned groups. Mexico have already been placed in Group A. They will have the opening match in Mexico City. Canada will be in Group B. The United States will be in Group D. That's the only trio of things that are known in terms of the groups for now. Each group will be allocated 1 team from each pot. This ensures the top sides and the hosts cannot see each other until the knockouts at the very earliest. So obviously one of the great perks of hosting this tournament. Teams from the same confederation, those are your CONMEBOL, CONCACAFs, AFC, AFCON, OFC, etc., cannot be drawn in the same group, with the exception of UEFA, just because there are so many representatives from the European Confederation. So a maximum of 2 European countries can stay in the same group. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney and his spouse being recognized on screen right now at the Kennedy Center as we wait for the first spheres to be drawn. Gareth, we didn't really hear from you yesterday in terms of the way that the contenders, if you will, the top 4 will be predetermined. I want you to start thinking about that, because I want to get some thoughts from you. We heard from Jordan yesterday. But before we get there, we want to bring in Oliver Platt, OneSoccer producer and analyst, who's joining us from Fort Lauderdale. Yes, there is the big draw today, the Watchalong powered by Moneris, but we also have the 2025 MLS Cup kicking off in about 24 hours' time. And Ollie goes through. He's got his fancy dressy shorts, and just like, it's too hot down there, I get it. But then he drops a bomb on everyone about Don Garber yesterday, a day or 2 before the final, and he's basically teasing, saying if the Whitecaps don't get a new stadium or the province doesn't figure its business out, some, quote, tough decisions might have to be made. Ollie, did that catch you off guard from the MLS commissioner, or was that par for the course, when you think of the discourse around this team all year long? I think we got you muted, buddy. We'll have to try this again.
Sorry, guys.
You're good.
You knew that he was going to get asked that question. It was his annual State of the League address, obviously, and it was going to be a big topic, and he had a very prepared answer. And so it was just a case of which direction did that answer go in. And to recap this a little bit, like last month, about a month ago now, he went to Vancouver to visit and to meet with city officials and provincial officials. That, to me, at the time, seemed a little bit of a warning sign that either things weren't going quickly enough or things weren't going in the direction that the MLS was hoping they would. that he would even take that trip. You know, the Whitecaps weren't an MLS Cup finalist at that point. And then to now come out and kind of escalate that rhetoric and the tone with some of the things he said in his comments last night, it doesn't seem to bode very well, right, for the current status quo as regards that situation. I do think there is another side to it, though, which is, you know, Don Garber said that the Whitecaps as an organization and all the players and staff and so on, they couldn't have done more to deserve the support that they're not getting from the city and the province. Well, they also couldn't have done more to strengthen Don Garber and MLS's negotiating position, right? They probably never thought that they would be in this kind of position with the Whitecaps as an MLS Cup finalist, drawing 50,000 to their big games with Thomas Muller in the team when it comes to potentially extracting some public money for a new stadium or for a better lease on BC Place. So I think that's part of it too. I don't think this is all necessarily doom and gloom. I think this is also MLS realizing that they're in a very strong position to get a great deal out of the city and the province here as regards the Whitecaps' future.
Oliver Platt joining us from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, ahead of MLS Cup 2025. About 15 minutes away, we think.
Can we dig in more into that? What do you mean by a good deal, Ollie? Is there anything that you're hearing right now? Because we've been reporting on this for quite some time, that there's a number of different stakeholders involved. Yes, they need, you know, municipal, provincial backing in order to make some of this happen, especially with the dealings with BC Place. But inevitably, if they want a new stadium, there's other stakeholders, there's other people involved here that need to be able to take this over the line as well.
Yeah, of course. I think what kind of stood out to me a little bit last night was that he seemed to put a bit more emphasis on the lease at BC Place than he did on the new stadium. And so I wonder if that is now entering their thoughts in terms of, with the switch to a winter schedule, BC Place being maybe a more appropriate stadium than it might have been in the summer, when maybe you would want a more kind of outdoor soccer specific stadium. So obviously BC Place, that's a provincial issue in terms of negotiating the lease they have on that stadium. It's been well documented. They don't get any money from concessions and things like that from that stadium. So it seems to me that even if a new stadium is still the target down the line, it's become more of a priority in the short term that they get a better deal out of BC Place. They've talked about, you know, for example, selling the naming rights, which I don't think the province is particularly keen upon, because that would essentially, in their words, just be handing a check to the Whitecaps, you know, to take a naming rights deal for a provincial property and then give the Whitecaps the proceeds, right? So there's things like that. I think that maybe are coming into it a little bit more. And like I said, he's in a position, Don Garber, where he can say, you know, how can you even contemplate the possibility of losing this team, of costing your city, your province, this team? And I think that puts him in a stronger position to maybe ask for some of these things.
Well, there's a World Cup hook to this as well. And this is, you know, I know this is draw day. There's a lot of excitement about seeing where Canada is going to play, but this is what we really do a poor job in Canada, in this country, is building infrastructure and supporting sporting programs across the board. That's why I wore my Calgary 88 sweatshirt today, because there was legacy projects involved. In Calgary, Alberta became the home for Olympic sporting events for decades. After that, I mean, things have become antiquated over time, but that inevitably happens. What we're not getting out of this World Cup is new stadium and new infrastructure to help not only the professional setups, but setups across the board from youth level and beyond in this country. And this is the most disappointing thing. It breaks my heart seeing temporary stands built up outside BMO Place in Toronto, when they could have actually properly renovated and winterized that stadium so it could host not only national team games going forward to a much grander scale, but also what's coming in terms of the change of schedule in Major League Soccer. Same thing goes in Vancouver, Ollie. It's a short-sightedness across all levels across the board that continue to allow this industry, among other industries in sport today, you know, it just keeps things spinning. Not in a direction of where there's progress, it's just spinning deeper into a hole. And it's requiring compromise and alternative stakeholders and alternative solutions, which might not be the best ones in order to see things forward. So that's just my reminder today. We're celebrating what Canada, the team, might be doing, but the setup around it, man, oh man, it still has a long way to go, doesn't it?
Well, you've had Toronto almost boasting that they were able to cut the budget and cut the number of required training pitches and things like that. Like, you know, I understand this is a massive money event, and that, you know, you don't want it. But there's an argument to be made about how you allocate public resources, but there's obviously also massive legacy opportunities here that I think can benefit everyone that participates in the sport at any level. Yeah.
All right, I want to bring Jordan Wilson back into the show. We had a
Jordan.
question. We're keeping an eye on the comments in the stream. And Daniel, I think it's called a super chat. Forgive me for not having the vernacular down, but a nice tip from Daniel here. Nice toonie that we'll split evenly amongst ourselves. But Jordan, Daniel's asking how many goals Canada scores in the group stage. Now, we don't know the team yet. I think we're getting closer. Heidi Klum is back onto the Kennedy Center. But to answer Daniel's question, how many goals does Canada score in the group stage?
4. I'll tell you, 2 by David, 1 by Davies, 1 by Buchanan. 4. And I think 4 would be enough as well. Get a win, get a draw, that would be enough.
Gareth, you agree?
They got to show that they can score goals, something that they haven't been doing. This is why I've been watching a little bit of the run up to this and been trying to consume some comment over recent days about people like picking teams that they don't want Canada to play. They're just picking the teams with the best players. What about dig a little bit deeper and look into style of play? Because we know what styles of play Canada doesn't fare well against. Those teams that can bunker in, play defensive football, and force Canada to have the ball. Canada is much more comfortable without the ball. So teams that are more possession-based, I think Canada can make some noise and score some goals. Teams that will bunker down and just play Canada on the counterattack. I think that those are the teams that Canada doesn't want to play. And if they play teams like that, 2-3 goals in the group stage, like this is what I'll be looking for when the draw plays out, just the types of teams that they're going to be playing rather than what star player we might be seeing on the field playing against Canada Red.
All right, we got Robbie Williams and Nicole Scherzinger playing a song you're going to hear so much over the next 6 months and beyond. It's
like a suit. Looks nice.
So, yeah, Robbie's looking good. Looking good. Ollie, we know that Alphonso Davies is impressing Vincent Kompany as he gets closer to a return and full fitness. Obviously, Canada knows he's going to be a huge difference maker, make or break success-wise, perhaps that level of importance. How does he fit back into this team when you consider Richie Laryea has performed so well over the past few windows?
I mean, I think we're all pretty satisfied with Canada's left back right now in Richie Laryea, right? He might have been their player of the year this year in terms of his performances. I think we are less satisfied with the amount of chances that the team is creating and the amount of goals they are scoring. That leads me to the conclusion that maybe if you want to shake up that attack a little bit, the best way you have to do it is to put Alphonso Davies higher up the pitch.
Go on!
and see if that injects something, right? And will it or won't it? I don't know. He's been very good there at times for Canada, and at other times it's been more difficult. But I feel like the attack is what's more in need of an injection of life, of something different at this point. And so I would give it a go in the short time they have in the lead up to the World Cup.
All right, this is the 2026 Live Draw Watchalong powered by Moneris. Thanks for joining us on OneSoccer. Jordan Wilson, Gareth Wheeler, and Oliver Platt joining us. So right now, as we count down to the draw, expecting it to be about...
When is the draw? Someone's asking. It's a great
Prediculous
question.
When is the draw? It's a fair question.
Yeah, when's the draw? Great.
They always want to hook you in for the hoopla and the pomp and circumstance. We expect it to be about 5 minutes or so away. At least they're going to start introducing the rules and structure of the event. Subway Scientist 4739 in the comments says, waving flag or bust. Can't disagree with that comment one bit at all. Onions and Onion Accessories says, good morning, boys. Here's to a favorable Group B. Greg Lawrence wondering how many goals are PKs. That's a question that I can reframe. Onions and Onions Accessories. I like the theme. Jordan, if Canada get a PK in the opening match of the group, who's taking it?
Dane St. Clair.
Come on.
I'm sorry, did you just say Dane St. Clair?
Literally, this is like the word. Okay, I think it's Jay David. I think Jay David should obviously step up, put that down, and smack it. But that, can we just say this? It needs to be sorted out before a penalty happens. Let's not get to a point where, are you taking out? Like, please, it's too much for my chest. It's too much stress. Make sure we have a penalty kick taker designated before this ball is kicked in June. Thank you.
Yeah, chat seems to agree. Kilo 3773 saying Jay David no matter what. Daniel saying it better be Jonathan David as well. And Spearmint Media, saying this anthem needs more Samina Mina AAs. I butchered that, but I'm going to have waving flags stuck in my head.
Are they doing the official World Cup song? I've got it on
Waka
mute, so I
Waka?
can't.
That was
Yeah,
what that was.
me
What
too.
that was. Yes,
Alright.
that's why we were talking about waving
Okay.
flag. It was
I
Nicole
like those
Scherzinger
World Cup
and
songs.
Robbie
I look
Williams.
forward to hearing it.
Yeah, me too.
So Jordan Wilson saying Dane Sinclair to take the penalty. I guess that segues us into Gareth Wheeler, who starts game one for Canada
In terms of the players,
in the goalkeeper position, wearing the gloves.
I've been well documented saying this. I don't think it's the goalkeeper behind door number 1 or door number 2. I think the fact that they brought Owen Goodman in, I think that he's the best one of the bunch. I really do. It seems like all roads are leading to Dane Sinclair, but again, a lot can happen in 6-7 months now. And so I need to see what that looks like. I mean, they weren't really tested in the last window, weren't they? Were they? Neither goalkeeper were tested. I feel like over the last couple of windows, we haven't learned much at all. I feel like when I watch Sinclair and Crepeau play, I have a more comfort level just watching with Max Crepeau in the net. But I think that Dane Sinclair might be the better goalkeeper. So neither one of them have like really truly staked their claim for the job. And I think that this conversation will continue until Jesse Marsh picks one. And I have no idea what angle he's leaning to here. All I know is I've seen enough of Owen Goodman to know that he might be young, but he looks like the real deal. So I'll leave it at that.
Ollie, you agree?
Yeah, mostly. I don't know if I'm obviously as on board with Goodman as Wheels is right now, but I think I agree that yeah, it's hard to judge.
It's hard.
But I do think it's kind of trending towards Dane Sinclair. I agree with that. But again, though, the variable is that Max Crepeau is going to sign for a new club, presumably in the next few weeks. And does that change things by the time March comes around and we're playing the next games? It could do. But it feels like it's moving closer towards Sinclair.
Chad seems to be very much on the Owen Goodman train as well. Greg Lawrence saying Davies better not be taking any dead balls unless just outside the box on the right side. Very specific. Prediculous. By the way, are you guys aware of the fields being built at Centennial Park, Toronto? Is this the training ground for teams playing at BMO? Gareth, you've been all over the infrastructure conversation. Is Prediculous onto something there? That's where the training grounds will be?
Well, I think training grounds is incorrect. I think it's one pitch.
Singular.
The project went from a couple indoor facilities, simultaneously with changing rooms. And I think it's down to one field. And I'm not sure if there's been confirmation on what that's going to be used for. I'm not sure if Ollie and Jordan know any more of that. All I know is that project was sliced and diced and taken down in scale considerably. So I'm not sure what the end result is.
Yeah,
Sorry, Ollie, go ahead.
Sorry, Adam. That's the only facility I think in Toronto that's being built. I believe it's a pitch, or I don't know how many pitches it'll be in total, but there's one new pitch, and then have kind of built a new field house building type thing. So,
but it was supposed to be something much more. I believe there'll be teams training out of the Toronto FC training facility, predominantly in Toronto.
Because I've muted the stream for obvious reasons for the next few minutes, if you're watching, you'll understand why. Jordan, do you really think that a third string goalkeeper that is hardly sniffed Canadian grass really has in terms of this national team, really has a chance to be a starting goalkeeper?
No, he won't start. Like, I know what Wheels is saying. Like, we talk about all the time on air, off there as well in terms of talent. I just don't think there's enough time for someone who hasn't stood between the sticks for Canada at all to be playing in 6-7 months' time. Like, it's between St. Clair and between Crepeau. Ollie made a great point about where Crepeau's going to play. And look, football moves quick, right? Like, if he has a good preseason, he starts playing regularly going into this MLS season in 2026, like, he could be the guy. But I think right now, at the time of taping, I think it's 60%, 65% St. Clair's. Like, he looks to be the guy. There's some things he needs to tighten up on. I didn't love his distribution against Ecuador when they're at BMO. There's just these moments where, even though he was goalkeeper of the year in MLS in 2025, just needs to go and take that spot. Make sure that Marsh or anyone can't take it away from you by how you've been performing in every way and all the details. He just needs to be.
But Jordan,
right now he's up there.
Do you really think it's too late? Like, this is international football. It's not club football. Like England went from who's Kobe Mainu to him starting.
Yeah, I think it's
Euro final.
I hear you.
Like, you know what I mean? I know that maybe a midfielder is different, than a goalkeeper. But things happen fast in football, and the international team, it's up to the manager, I think, to play the best players who are in form, who have had the best season, and then kind of it's hard to think that a new goalkeeper coming in wouldn't fit. Like we saw, what's his name? Archie Jones just come in, play game number 1. He looked comfortable. Like we've seen other players come into the Canadian setup and hit the ground running. So I don't think it's too late. I think Jesse Marsch has to just pick the best option. Bottom line.
No, I think he's gonna pick the best option out of the two. I don't think he's considering on Goodman. I don't think he is. Like I understand what you're saying about Manu in terms of a midfielder, but like a young, promising star that can fit your system, yeah, you could put him in with other 10 players, and you're like, okay, this works. But a starting goalkeeper and you're hosting a World Cup and you're taking a third string, he has to be significantly greater in training and in matches, which you don't have the matches to prove or to show, than the other two. And he's been talking and kind of bigging up St. Clair and Crepeau for years now, or for over a year. So I think to say, hey, not no to you, and I'm going to pick Goodman.
But Jesse hasn't said yes to either one of them. So he's still waffling between who's won. So he hasn't made a decision. Then you just need to be able to go on and pick the best one. Like I think that Jesse has been playing a game where even players who we know are on the outside looking in, like whether it be Jonathan Osorio or Kamal Miller, he waxes poetic about these guys. At some point, the reality is going to set in that he's just trying to let them down lightly here. And he's going to have to make bold decisions. That is the role, that is the job of a national team manager. Okay. It's cutthroat. You play your best team come the World Cup. So that's what it's going to come down to. Who is the best player and the best fit? Like that's it. No time for feelings anymore.
Is this the Peace Prize?
It is. I was reluctant.
I can't believe who's winning it. I saw this.
You would have never guessed with the village people playing at this bloody thing. So,
President of the United States,
Donald
J. Trump, is currently wearing a gold medal around his neck, and FIFA have commissioned a golden trophy. It looks as though there are
roping hands on a globe.
5 hands holding up the globe.
Like zombie hands coming out of the ground.
And now that's like an 8K render of this brand new trophy is slowly spinning around. And Gianni Infantino just read some big brochures. So no, we haven't started picking balls just yet. We were hoping it'd be around now, but the pomp and circumstance very much still happening right now at the Kennedy Center.
No other guys.
Donald J. Trump.
Yeah. All right, let's get this back on the rails.
Party's like Peace Award, okay? It's like
that's what I'm saying.
If anyone needed to know whose World Cup this actually is, I hope that you're watching this draw ceremony.
You're not missing much if you're not.
Hey, we're here.
All right, so let's get this show back on the rails before we get this.
We're on the rails of whatever I'm watching right now. And I'm not even political. I don't even care about
it. It doesn't feel real. It doesn't.
It doesn't. This is a World Cup
drawing things.
Zombie hands. I like that.
It's like this was rumored to happen, and enough credible people suggested that it would. And it's equally... I was going to say that the president's skin looks the same color as the trophy, but I don't want to get the show too listed.
Well done, Jenko.
Thank you very much. Question from OneSoccer producer for the group. How teams do you genuinely fear, or do you genuinely think Canada should fear in this tournament? We mentioned that the favorites that's based on world rankings cannot be seen until the knockout stages. That's your Argentina, France, England. They can't meet until late as well. Gareth needs his glasses.
I'm wearing my glasses.
Ollie, who would you say Canada would genuinely fear? Like if we advanced through to the knockout stages and you saw the schedule, who would you be shaking in your boots a little bit from a pundit and fans perspective?
Well, genuinely fear. Like I'm not saying that I think everyone else that they would beat or be favorites to beat or whatever, but like actually fear, I think it goes down to Brazil in terms of the order of that top pot. Below the co-hosts. So you got Spain, Argentina, France, England, Brazil. I don't know if I'd go lower than that in terms of genuinely fear.
Really?
Ooh, I put Portugal. I put Portugal
maybe.
In that group. Maybe.
Obviously, Jordan, you think that they should fear
No,
Portugal.
but hold on. Maybe Ali. Nah, I'm fearing Portugal. Obviously, Ali, he rarely gets anything wrong. But for me, Portugal, I fear.
Oliver?
Did
Oliver's
Wales
usually
fear
Come
that?
on, man.
Nah, you're usually right, Ali. don't let
Are you
let
kidding?
Rios knock
It's
you.
because he
Ali,
sits on the fence because he
Ali-
can't get anything right or wrong. He just
Good
he
nuance.
just
Ali,
hovers.
You're usually right. Don't let him talk to you like that. Portugal for sure. Well, you said Spain, Argentina, England, Brazil. I mean, you could say, no, I would even say the Netherlands I would fear, man. What? Like,
Yeah,
come on.
the Dutch.
Like, well,
Yeah,
come on.
they're-
Like, we gotta, like, I
Fear?
get it, Belgium. Yes.
Good team.
There-
You wouldn't
there is
expect
this-
Canada to win. I get it, but
No, but
fear?
like,
Did we learn nothing?
yeah. Fear.
Did
Yeah,
we
that's
learn
a fair
nothing
point.
from
You
Belgium?
should probably fear the likes of Croatia, right? And we probably didn't fear them after going into the 4-1.
But it's like, I don't think you should
Nothing-
play
nothing-
scared, but I just feel like these are teams and nations that I'm just like, they advance, they win. Like, they could, on their day, could deal with Canada. Yeah, I'd fear, I'm putting the Dutch up there. Netherlands for sure.
Update from the Kennedy Center. The president is still delivering a speech after being awarded the 2025 FIFA Peace Prize. This speech could last 45 minutes. This speech could last 45 more seconds. We would expect the draw to get underway shortly thereafter. This is the 2026.
He's just saying this draw is not rigged. Not rigged.
This is the 2026 live draw watch along powered by Moneris. Oliver Platt joining us for a few more minutes from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, ahead of MLS Cup 2025 tomorrow. That's Gareth Wheeler in the Calgary 88 red pullover.
Snug. But it's not too tight though,
Bro,
really.
it
looks
is
good.
tight.
It looks on purpose.
It's medium. I'm glad I'm sitting at
Nice
this
little
angle.
schmeeds. Sorry, Jenko.
You're all good. A reminder that we're keeping an eye on the chat. Creative
there you
J, big fan of
I had the
Gareth's
toque
fit
from
today.
like SO back in the day as well, man. It was awesome. Got the mini torch. Still got those.
Anything
was an
else in the chat football related? I
yes.
think that the president has
Chat.
certainly taken over the bulk of the discourse right now, but he has now left the stage. So
he's going to win the Peace
update you.
Prize. Do you think Trump's going to be up for the Ballon d'Or this year?
He may very well be.
The
I would say
Puskas,
as much
Puskas, I guarantee he had the best goal.
as much as there's a lot to say about it, it is kind of like, if I can turn my brain off for a second, he looked so happy. And I don't care. I don't wish for a lot of people to feel happiness like that, but he's wanted that for a long time. So
Yeah, glad he's happy.
I hope you guys are happy as well in the chat as we count down to the draw. Next question coming through for Jordan Wilson to lead us off. Is this Canada team better than the one we saw take to the pitch in Qatar? Think of the veterans that have since left
Yes.
the program, the
Easy.
Centurions, the
Easy.
Idols, slam
Not a
dunks, says
question.
Wheeler. Do you agree, Jordan?
I do agree. And right now, as I'm searching up the starting lineup against Belgium, where these guys were electric, but didn't get the win, and we all know how that one played out. Yeah, they're better. I think they have more depth. But then you also look at,
Look at the midfield. It's completely different.
but hold on. Let me land. You look at the players that did well at that World Cup. They're still on the team, but they're 4 years older and playing at better clubs. So, like, even on that regard and that argument, it's a better team, no doubt. Defensively, too, that was an area before we used to kind of like, okay, what's going to happen? We really need to bolster that back line. I think now everyone healthy, barring everyone healthy, but even still, you look at options that you can go and compete with for sure. Like that for me, there's probably 8 names I could say for that back line, more than competent to go and do a role, and Canada can build off of it for sure. So yeah, Rios is right about the midfield, but that back line for me is far better. The team's better overall in general in all areas.
Atiba was on his last legs. Like, they had nothing in their midfield. Steven Vittoria, God bless him, like did a job. Like, players like that, like now you have like Bombito coming in. If and when he's fit, that's just a whole other level. You have 2 right backs, 2 left backs that you can trust. You have different players that can come in the midfield and play a difference. You have Jonathan David, a little bit older, a little bit wiser, a little bit better. You have wide players in Buchanan, I think he's taken his game to a whole other. This is why there is and there should be pressure on Jesse Marsch heading into this tournament, by the way. because there was no pressure on John Herdman in this group. They put the pressure on themselves with the Croatia stuff and some of what happened, but there was no pressure on them playing in that group with Belgium, Croatia, Morocco. There is pressure this time because in a 48-team World Cup, the group is going to be easier. They're going to be playing at home. There are better players. It's a better team. Will it end with a better result? It better, or this whole World Cup thing for Canada this here in 2026, it'll just go down as a complete failure. So I think there's big pressure on Jesse Marsch to get it right here.
But that's why today's so important, right? Like who you get. I know everyone can get out of the group, but to your point, Wheels, Jenko, you already said it. Ollie, we've talked about it too. It's like gotta win a game, but then win the group, because then that's the best way to make a deep run. And we'll probably say this a few times through this watch along. Is like, yeah, we've had conversations. I know Christian Jack said before about, hey, you just want to maybe get a win and play the best team last and whatever it might be. But regardless of how this plays out today, you have to go into this first game saying we got to win it. We got to go get 3 points. And how do you do that? Is scoring a goal and making sure you dominate a match. It doesn't have to be pretty, but they got to get points on the board. And that's something that Canada has yet to do at a World Cup. So let's see how they cook things up.
It's hard to even project at the minute until you see who they're going to play, right? I think that's when you get realistic expectations. But it's possible, they could get through the group for the first time and you could still feel a little bit underwhelmed, right? Because you can go through as a third place team, potentially having, lost 2 games even. So it's hard to say, but I think obviously it starts with getting to the knockout stage.
Okay, so from the Kennedy Center, Lino Scaloni just brought the World Cup trophy onto the stage. We're back in the crowd for a series of interviews.
Roberto Carlos.
While the pots and spheres can be set up. So we're hopefully turning the page and getting close to the start of the draw. To answer Jordan's question, I've pulled up the starting 11 from Canada-Belgium. Miller, Vittoria, Johnston at the back with Borjan in goal. Davies and Larea on the wings. A box of Hoylett, Buchanan, Eustachio, Atiba, and Jonathan David at the number 9. Red Wolf 3893 wants to award Gareth the OneSoccer Peace Prize in 2025.
Piece of what?
Here to know what
peace.
Trophy
I just want the hands coming up, just like holding my head. Like,
well done.
That was creepy. That was creepy.
During
our production meetings, you probably wouldn't be getting a nomination. But
this is a question that's popped up in the chat. I genuinely don't know the answer to this one. So if any of you have some insight, I know it's been lovingly referred to sometimes as Camp Poutine, the January window where there's a lot of like recycled, not first choice selections. Do we know of anything of a January window? I know AFCON's going on over the holiday break as well, but have you guys heard anything, a suggestion that maybe there will be a friendly or two announced once Canada knows their path and can try to start picking some opponents that might suit the style of play that Canada will see in the World Cup? Any of you?
Some rumblings.
I
don't know who, but I've heard some rumblings.
Yeah, I believe they're planning something. I don't know the details, and I assume it will just be players who aren't in season.
And then another question from the chat. If that happens, if there's a Camp Poutine, would any of you like to see Ralph Priso called up based on what he's done for the Vancouver Whitecaps?
I think he'd naturally be called in. They need numbers.
Definitely.
If you're going to hold a camp, you're going to need to have numbers. So I've always liked Ralph Priso. I've always liked him.
And he made strides this year, man. He's shown his versatility. He's shown that he's taking his lumps. He has a little bit of leadership to his game. He feels comfortable. Look, we can get into a whole story about Jesper Sørensen and what he's done with Vancouver Whitecaps, but all the Canadian players have taken a step up this season, and that's no coincidence to the franchise and what that club's doing.
All right, the 47th hype video of the broadcast now going through the host cities. Some Canadian content.
A guy like you is definitely counting too, Django. I feel like 47 is pretty accurate.
It's just mental processing, Jordan Wilson. Nick DM says,
By
yes.
the way,
Priso.
Landon Donovan's hair, did anyone see him walking in? That hair job is the second best I've seen after Wayne Rooney.
After Rooney?
Wayne Rooney, number 1 in terms of hair transplant. Number 2, and it happened very quickly, by the way, Landon Donovan. Now he's part Turkish. Part Turkish, part American, part Canadian.
I don't think it did happen quickly, did it?
Colombia.
I thought he put it up on Instagram. It was like, guys,
but didn't he have a bit of a?
And boom! It felt like the next day he just had this salad. going on, man? Landon
I thought that was a bit of a
Donovan.
false
What
start.
a guy. It was a false start?
Yeah.
Didn't you
What he
remember
has
that
now?
photo?
Do you see him
that went-
today? Holy
No, I think
lightning.
prior to about a year ago, there was a photo that went viral. Poor Landon Donovan. There was a photo that went viral of
I love
one
it.
that didn't seem to have taken very well. But it's better now. Yeah.
You got-
Interesting. I didn't know. I think he looks great. Second best. Laza. Then Lando. Did you see him, Jenko?
I missed that one, to be honest.
But walking in, he looked glorious today.
The Turkish show
Glorious.
it gave me everything that I needed to know about what it must have looked like. I'll try to pull it up on social media here shortly.
Lando.
Johnny Infantino is back. There are
We interviewed him about
footballs
that.
and trophies and pots on stage, so it looks like the draw is just around the corner.
Come on.
Gareth Wheeler, we know famously you've covered World Cups for a while, and
Famous.
it was 2010 you were at. Have you been to any more than 2010?
2006.
Okay. 2010, my personal favorite World Cup, because I was 14 and we watched the entire tournament in Monsieur Morjeski's class at the back of the room and got no work done for about 3 weeks. World Cup memory is what I want to talk about, Jordan. When you think of seminal childhood
It was
or
June.
recency,
Who in Canada does work at school in June
It's
anyway?
true.
So Miss
he was still
Majeski, thank
Monsieur
you very
Morjeski,
much.
still the GOAT at Bayside Secondary School for letting us do that. Jordan, World Cup memories, what comes to your mind?
Ooh, 06. Definitely 06. Just because when I think about that, like the stars, man, the stars that played at that World Cup, and then obviously my favorite one being Zidane at the time, which was his last one. Yeah, that one straight to Materasi's sternum. No, that was a big one. So much so, Wheels can tease me about this one. On my flight back this past week, I watched the 06 quarterfinals, France and Brazil again. And I was just like, all these stars on one pitch. What I will say, though, and people can talk and DM in the chat or whatever on socials, but obviously the stars were fantastic, but the football, it wasn't the greatest. Like now you can see like everyone's doing like the thing. Like it's really much Chiram and everyone's going to go and defend and you're going to just like nullify the stars. But the football for the 90 minutes, it wasn't dynamic. You're just seeing Zidane and Ronaldinho and Cafu and players like that pulling the strings. But I think that 06 World Cup was the one where I was like, yeah, there was just scenes. There was just some great stars that played in it. So for me, that one sticks out. 98 too.
There's a lot of bad
06.
football at World Cups. I honestly think that the most recent final in Qatar was like an all-time final. Like
Yeah,
it was just unbelievably good. It's very rare that you have like really, really good it's always tight, cagey, it's dramatic, it's tense. But yeah, I mean, 2010 being there, the football wasn't great in South Africa. It wasn't great at all, but there was big talking points like Suarez and, in Russia, some of the upsets in Brazil, Germany 7, Brazil 1, like you remember those moments and not necessarily the overall quality of the football. And that's another concern with 48. Again, I'm not trying to be altogether negative here. I mean, are you going to be looking forward to seeing Curacao or Cape Verde, or Jordan, like play champagne football come the World Cup? Everyone's talking about the ticket prices. There might be a lot going on the resale market for a lot cheaper. So just hold on to your billets for the time being.
Okay, so we have an update from the Kennedy Center. The 3 leaders of the nations that will host this tournament are on stage. Mark Carney is delivering a speech. 2/3 of Canadians have played football at some point, I believe, is what he said, in the biggest sport for young Canadian children. He's a Toffees fan, and his wife is an Arsenal supporter, which I think is fabulous. And
get in, wifey.
we have seen. We've seen.
I have a bone to pick with the Prime Minister because when we had the interview, he was talking about Canada in '86. He said Tony Waters. It's Tony Waiters. Waiters. Get it right.
So I think what's happening here, and I don't have any insight, but I imagine they're all going to pick their nation. They will get off the stage, and the rest will begin. Again, we know Mexico will be in Group A. Canada's in Group B. The United States of America are in Group D. We're going to lose Ollie shortly here. Do you have any parting words for us? Anyone you want to see in Canada's group, or wisdom
Ollie
from the MLS tomorrow? The
Spicy.
last match at Chase Stadium, by the way, before they head to Freedom Park.
Hey, Ollie.
Well, maybe not actually.
I got a hot take for you, Ollie.
Sorry.
See, look at Ollie.
I got a hot take for you before you go. You talk,
Okay.
and then I got a hot take for you. Go ahead.
Okay, just on Chase Stadium, I think they might play the Champions Cup early rounds there next year. So
Okay,
not the last
Freedom
game
Park.
as it
That's
was
true.
thought.
It's April-ish that they have
Yeah,
circled for
for
the
Freedom
first, so
Park.
that's true. Freedom Park may not be ready in time.
Yeah, I don't think I have particular teams I want to see. I wouldn't mind Scotland in Canada's group, to be honest with you, because I think it would be a decent draw, and I would like to see them face the Scottish.
Just want to go
That would be a
drinking with
fun
their
one.
supporters. That's about it.
Yeah, and pot 2, I just want someone who maybe won't show up in big numbers to support in Toronto. So that feels like an actual Canada home game is my main concern. Other than that,
Nice.
let us have it. We'll see what we get.
Ollie, here's my hot take. Word on the street is people are talking in DC right now. No one wants to play Italy. My hot take is that they're not even going to make the World Cup. It's going to be Northern Ireland or Wales.
Come on, Wales.
What do you think about that? You like that for a hot take?
It's not
I like
hot.
the hot
I'm with
take.
you, really. I'm
like
with
Owen
you,
Goodman,
honestly.
I'm not sure that I'm quite as strongly behind it as you are, as much as I'd love to see.
Let's be honest. If Italy does qualify, I hope that Canada plays them in the first game in Toronto. I really do.
That would be
Donald Trump now playing to the crowd saying,
and we'll see what
football,
the
not soccer.
Canadian Italian community they're there. They're loud. But I want to see where their loyalty actually stands. They've never been tested because they see the Portuguese and the Portugal when they get knocked out, they support Brazil. I get how all this works. I want to see because also some of the Italian Canadians are some of the most patriotic Canadians as well. So I need to see this dynamic.
Really, I'll tell you right now.
If Italy squeak in, I want to see that happen.
I'm going to tell you.
I don't think it'll happen, but
if they squeak in, BMO that first game, if this happens, will feel way worse than it did when we played Ecuador just in the friendly. Everyone, it doesn't matter. It could go 3 generations back. They're Italian on that day. What?
How do we feel about Gianni Infantino calling the act of moving the balls around in the pot mingling the balls? Can we poll the crowd? He says that's apparently the verbiage.
Anything I have to say right now gets me a trip to HR. So I'm not doing that. I'm not answering anything.
Yes.
Mingling the balls?
You can say anything pretty much.
That's what he said?
So Gianni Infantino has just given a demo to the political leaders.
So awkward.
We're going to get the draw underway on how to mingle the balls and how to open said spheres. So Mark Carney,
I'm going to let you guys take it from here.
Okay,
Ollie,
enjoy MLS Cup 2025 tomorrow.
Ollie, when you're out on South Beach tonight, just go out in clubs, start chatting people, ask about mingling balls, and see what they say. You might have a great night. A great night.
Well, that will be used in many a political campaign from here on out. Carney draws Canada out of the pot.
I thought mingling tonight there, Ollie.
We know that they are headed to Group B. So the draw is officially underway. This is the live Draw Watchalong powered by Moneris. Mark Carney has gone through and drawn Canada. We know they are heading to Group B. The Mexican leader has Mexico.
Canada.
Mexico heading to Group A. At least the draw officially underway now.
Number one.
Who is the funniest country that Donald Trump could draw here? He's insinuating that these first few draws are maybe not unknown. Donald Trump now doing crowd work, really milking this appearance.
I think my is behind. He's going to draw the U.S. Can he get it open?
Okay, so the draw officially underway. They'll take a photo op. The 3 co-hosts have been drawn, and the draw is now underway. So we will see who the next draw assistants are after the photo ops are taken. We will get into the unknown variables at this point.
Watching Tim Ream on CNN this morning, by the way. Good guy. I can't believe he's still starting and playing for the U.S. Shocking to me.
Be in the summer.
He's their captain right now.
If they're trying to compete, I'm sorry.
Mopo says they're in it to win it.
Gianni Infantino now taking a selfie with the 3 leaders of the co-host, looking like he's using an iPhone.
I'm glad he drew FIFA.
Isn't that something? Okay. Pardon me.
What pod is FIFA in?
Yeah, seriously, it was in their own. Okay, so we're going to a commercial break. Just to keep
God.
the
I'm
fans
behind. I'm just seeing the selfie.
alive.
This is so cringe. Trade deal. Trade deal. Ask him if he's going to tariff that shot.
Well, to you in the chat, you are all legends. We know that, but also thank you for spending 55 minutes with us as we wait for this draw to actually begin. This is the live draw watch along. Pardon me. It is powered by Moneris.
Yes. Love Moneris.
Gareth Wheeler, Jordan Wilson, Adam Jenkins here with you.
Got any questions for us,
hoping-
people, while we're in a commercial break?
That's right.
Let's
Anything
get
in the
some questions.
comments?
Questions from the audience.
Questions, not even questions, just comments. Where are you watching from? Who are you hoping to see?
What does these draws mean? Do these draws mean? Well, we're figuring out which teams.
Mick Lebowski saying, talk about Ralph Priso. We've actually done that a little while ago. There was a unanimous feeling, pardon me, that he should be seeing some time in a January window if we get one.
And
the one player in the midfield that I think that there needs to be some clarity is what's going on with Mathieu Chouanier right now, because he's kind of like 5 of 5. I don't think his spot is being threatened in terms of not making the team, but he's got to be playing. And so his loan is done with LAFC, and I just want to see where he might be landing next.
We've got Starbucks, our pal. He's on vacation, avoiding the Ottawa winter. He's in Cancun. Kevin
Nice
G,
man.
540, watching from a
Go on, Dima.
in Bar. I'm feeling not as great about.
Be careful pronouncing that word.
Oh, dear Lord. We're doing everything in our power to get ourselves in trouble today.
Watching
NYC
Iowa, that's
Nibbles,
what I can handle.
Iowa, very good. Thank you for
Bonaire.
tuning in. June friendly. If at home, what stadium? Can't use BC Place or BMO Field. Interesting. Montreal ? Perhaps we see Canada go around if it's in the
Big game
country.
tomorrow.
Watching from Ottawa.
Montreal.
Watching from Montreal. Very good. Isn't Chouanier rumored to get a permanent move to LAFC?
Is he?
Cytren Musica. I've not seen that one, but that's not to say that that's not true.
Could
Watching
be.
from Vancouver, BC Caps and Reds go. Sitting on the toilet. Hey, wherever you got to join us, listen.
Yeah.
Sit on the throne and get the live stream going. We got Gordo from San Fran. I think that's Peru, though the emoji is pretty small on the chat as it goes through. Victoria, BC, go Caps. Wheels, does Laren make the roster? Asks Vince Rogers 68.
Ooh, I had a good friend overseas asking me about Laren every day. He's not really playing for Feyenoord, didn't play last window. I mean, look, if a 26-man squad, it's very difficult to be left out if you're a player of that magnitude, but things are trending in the wrong direction. Let's be clear about that. I don't think that you can say that it's a lock at this point, can you? Like, if he's not playing, if he's not in form come the World Cup time, again, difficult decisions need to be made. We'll watch Jebo, watch Theo Bair, who's been in recent camps as well. So there could be some more competition here.
Okay, more locations being thrown in.
This is great.
I think I'm seeing a YYT, which is St. John's, Newfoundland, Labrador.
How'd you know that?
It's the
Is it
airport
really?
code. Yeah, YYT, St. John's. We got
How'd you know
Halifax, we've got Kingston, we got Creative J, and the great city of Calgary. Creative J, where
Adam-
in
Adam-
Calgary? Also,
One Adam Jenkins, legend.
you're saying snowy Calgary. I haven't been upstairs in 2 hours. Did it start snowing? I really don't want to have to go shovel the driveway
If you
after
didn't
this stream,
know,
but
Calgary is Adam Jenkins' hometown.
that's
Hometown.
true. Gareth wearing the sweater for me. My new hometown. That's very true.
No.
We got another Vancouver. We got Toronto, Australia. Scott Shannon slept in. What did I miss?
Well done.
A lot of singing. A Peace Prize or two. Speeches. Yeah. Jefferson Steelflex. I remember this viewer from some of our shows. Jordan, smile. You look nervous. Are you nervous, Jordan?
I'm not nervous at all. Who
Nervous
said
about what?
Are you nervous because Jefferson Steelflex asked you if you're nervous?
that? What kind of? I don't know who this is, so I guess I kind of am Jefferson. A little bit now.
Red Wolf 3893 watching from the Niagara region. I didn't know Antarctica had a
it
flag
was
emoji in the
cold
update. That's great.
Yesterday, it was cold.
Smithers BC says Cryops.
Oh, yeah,
I've
MLS.
actually been to Smithers.
Did you
My
play?
My uncle lives on Vancouver Island, so I do, in fact, know where Smithers is. Thank you very much. Hello from the former home of Valor.
Winnipeg.
Corey Rybuck,
We
feeling
love
for
you,
you,
Winnipeg.
buddy. We are sending you a big hug. Football can be cruel sometimes. Yeah, Smithers, Northwest BC. Is Smithers more north than Edmonton? That's my question for you. If you're still in the chat,
Never even heard of it. How many teams? Can I ask a question? How many teams do you actually think have a legitimate chance to win this World Cup?
Ooh.
How many?
Can we get the pots back up just so, or the 4 groups, and we can go through?
Squint, get out your.
So I want you guys to magnify or to marinate on that. How about this? My question: if you had to set the odds, Gareth? What are the odds? You can do percentage or however you like, that someone other than a pot 1 team wins the World Cup.
The percentage?
Yeah, like 10%, 15%, 20%,
5.
5%. I mean,
5.
Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, Portugal, Brazil, England, France, Argentina, Spain.
Who else legitimately that's not in Pot A? And not every team in Pot A obviously has a chance. But
I'll tell you the sleepers.
Okay, tell me.
One sleeper is Colombia in Pot 2.
Yeah, is Colombia? Do they classify
as a sleeper? To win it, 1,000%.
I mean, they are so good at the back.
Yeah, but think about it.
They concede goals. I think that's the one team I'd pick out from Pot B.
But it's just like when I said 5, these are the 5: Spain, Argentina, England, Brazil, Portugal. Oh, France. Ooh.
Oh, you know, I gotta shout this one out. Sorry. Watching from high in the sky. Germany. En route from Dublin to Toronto, just west of Gander, Newfoundland.
Went to Dublin.
I love this. Thanks for keeping us who can't watch the match or who can't watch the draw live informed. Safe travels, blue skies and tailwinds. Thanks for joining us.
Beautiful.
At 37,000. That's pretty fabulous.
That's a good one.
We had one from the Laurentians, the Laurentides. Watching Direct Kicks TV from Belleville, Ontario. Shout out the Bay of Quinte, Scott Granville. There's our Laurentians, Ivry or Lelac. My goodness, we got a spread here, and we appreciate all of you for being here. That's really kind.
I'm gonna go 7 teams can win the World Cup.
7 teams, says Gareth Wheeler.
So what are 7 really? Because I kind of added another one too.
Spain,
yeah,
Argentina,
yeah,
the champs, yeah. France. I'm saying England because I think that Tuchel's a good hire. I think that Tuchel is the type of manager that you want for the World Cup because I think he's pragmatic enough to get the most out of this team, unlike previous England managers. Portugal, Brazil,
yeah.
I might have to make it 8 because I like Netherlands and I think Germany hasn't.
Netherlands could win it,
but yeah, I think Netherlands can win it. Yeah.
Billico says
outsider, but like I want to they'd be my 8th. Germany 7.
No, but you said 7. Germany. Germany. Yeah. Okay. Germany. I got
Germany 7.
I'm really not seeing that many England shouts in the chat. Gareth, is it coming home? Is it the year?
I honestly think that other years, I think the hype around England or the prognostication that they're going to be, I haven't bought it, but this time around I do. I think that they have much more balance in their team. I think that Harry Kane, the way that he's playing right now, by the way, you can watch Bayern Munich each and every weekend right here on OneSoccer. Promotion right there. I think he's playing outstanding football. Like I said, their manager, I think he just gets it. I think there's a good mix between experience and youth. I think that England's going to be right in there this year. I think that this might be the best chance that we've seen them have in a long time. I other than maybe Spain, I really like Portugal as well, but like the Ronaldo show, like whether the oxygen in the room will be too much centered around him, like he's going to start, he's going to play. But I really like the Portuguese team as well. So we'll see. But I also think the World Cup being staged over here like helps South American teams. That's why maybe I should go a little bit deeper in terms of including Colombia in that mix. I think that was a good show, Jordan. So
it's only only because like for me, I mean
they don't lose.
Croatia always goes far too, but it's tough to be like right now with not seeing the pots and who people are playing to be like, oh, they're gonna make a deep run. But it's hard to count them out. They're robust defensively. They have like game winners, game breakers. Yeah,
Do you know what? Do you know what? This is why I'm worried about Canada a little bit. The World Cup. It depends on where they play, because it is going to be bloody hot next summer, and teams that just run around like idiots are going to I think they're going to suffer, and it's not going to.
That's why I think it's
style of play really matters, as well as having players that are conditioned to playing in the heat.
It's imperative, though, right? I think
yes.
If they win, correct me if I'm wrong. If they win the group, don't they stay in Vancouver?
Yeah, that's why. That's
yeah.
Nice. All right, update from the Kennedy Center. This is like the fourth song of the musical set.
I knew that this would happen. This is why I told our producers we can't come on too early, because and then we're like, no, we need to be upright. I'm like, do you know how long we're going to be sitting here on this live stream?
65 minutes so far, and we've seen
right?
picked that we already knew
like,
groups that they would.
You're like Oliver Platt, Wheels. You're really wrong, buddy. Really wrong. Look at you.
I have takes. That guy just sits on the fence like no other. He's a gem. He just treads water. He just floats.
We really can't complain. TSN, I think, is doing like 14 hours of coverage today. So kudos to our pals over there. It's like their trade center on a football aspect.
Yeah. They've said that Canada shouldn't get Norway like 32 times. I'm like, okay.
Scared of it.
Message delivered.
So this is one that's going to make me shake in my boots from the chat. I can't verify this, but allegedly TSN announced that the draw itself would start at 2 p.m. Eastern time, which I will pray is not actually the case, and I cannot verify that. But Adrian Ballack, either way, I'm shaking in my boots right now a little bit. So we'll see. We're in the middle of some musical sets. Look, FIFA understands that the entire world is watching, so they're gonna milk this for every drop that they can get after some prizes and some musical performances have been asked. Jokes on OneSoccer crew. The draws until 1:55 and we'll take 5 minutes. Thanks, Red Wolf. We're loving that. That's the energy we're looking for here. Okay, so we got this musical act in the books. Lauryn Hill, I believe.
Yes.
I was kind of bopping along.
Sweating.
Me too. Might be the flu I have right now, but I relate to Lauryn Hill immensely.
Right now. Oh, big player. No? Is it De Jong? Maybe
my coverage is way behind. So.
Okay. When you see it, you'll see it. I just think we talk about World Cup moments and just a flying kick from a Dutch
dude,
player.
I was at that game. I was in the stadium in Johannesburg.
When you think games gone soft, there's that type of stuff that
no. No, that game, like honestly,
nuts.
Like it was very little football being played, a lot of fouls. So it was straight up.
The Iniesta goal, I'll still think about Wheelie. That is just like
Iniesta is one of my favorite players of all time. Like the guy is just so class. Got to interview him a couple of years ago for OneSoccer. Oh, nice. That was very cool with the translator in between.
Perfect.
Looked good. Looked like he liked me. Why wouldn't he? I liked him. So, yeah.
Carly Lloyd now being interviewed at the Kennedy Center. The FIFA.
I was in for the 2015 Women's World Cup final, and she scored like a goal from like half. She scored a hat trick in the final. I was there for that one too.
Yeah, man.
That was good. Just gonna make this all about me.
What about him? You got this one too?
No, I'm still at Carly Lloyd. I'm like way behind.
Watch when you see it. It's coming in 5 seconds. Watch when you see the.
No, I might be really far behind then.
No, it's okay. 10 seconds then. It's coming. Just keep watching.
Okay.
That's why I don't know
question.
Mopo.
From the OneSoccer chat.
15 seconds.
For those traveling for this World Cup, what's one city/stadium you'd want to watch a match in?
Oh, Azteca. What? For sure.
Go down to Mexico.
For sure, Azteca. Yeah. I need to get there at some point in my life.
Wills, what's the coolest stadium you've been in? And I imagine Old Trafford probably is up there for different reasons for you, but like maybe a top 3? Also in the chat, I want to know what your favorite stadiums or favorite matches you've been to.
Is it?
H. Torrey says, I saw Sinclair Hattie 2012 at Old Trafford.
Yeah, that was a game. That was a game. I was driving back from Oshiega listening to it. I swear. That was a good time that weekend. But yeah, then I watched that back. That was crazy.
Shout out to NJSH 2008, who's clearly a OneSoccer
Yeah,
day
Mercedes
winner.
Benz is a nice one. It's a very nice stadium.
It seems like a spaceship. That's a good show.
Atlanta's a pretty cool city, though. It's not bad. So, yeah. Oh, Kevin Hart. Here we go. I like my joke from earlier. It's like seeing Michael Owen and Peter Crouch next to one another.
Like I wanted to add to that, but
I love Heidi Klum. Love Heidi Klum.
I think with the joke though, Wheels, it's just like make it a bit more football relevant and put Crouch with Defoe.
Like,
remember when they were the little partnership?
I thought that Owen was the yeah.
Okay, so now we've got some
Jermaine Defoe.
There's an SNL style skit going on.
Do you think the world likes Kevin Hart? Like,
yeah, I like Kevin Hart.
You do?
Yeah. It's you that really hates on him, honestly.
Yeah.
Everyone else
because I think that he's a gregarious young man. He's an entertainer, but he misses one key ingredient to be a comedian, which is humor. He's just not funny. I love
how you said young man. I feel like
honest.
you and Kevin Hart are like the same age, Wheels. I really do.
Well, I'm a young man too.
It is nice.
There you go.
Young man.
There's
a lot going on.
I would have loved to have gone to the World Cup in Brazil. That would have been very cool.
So Rio Ferdinand, we know, is the draw conductor. Studios. So the fact that he's finally breaking the screen, I guess, is a sign. I don't know if it's a good sign. Matthew McConaughey's on the screen now in this SNL style sketch they're doing with Gianni Infantino. Legendary drawl. Is he a big Austin FC guy, McConaughey? I know he's an owner.
He's a part owner of the
really?
team.
That doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
Yeah.
Makes complete sense.
I like McConaughey. He's a likable guy.
Who doesn't?
All right. Yeah. Shout out the all right's in the chat.
Rio, such a class center back. He just had some problems showing up for drug tests, but other than that.
All right.
We're doing that, Wheels.
So speaking of Act 3,
it happened. He was suspended for forever, man. Anyways.
Speaking of Act 3, enjoying the moment, Mackenzie Barwell enjoying the moment at Real Sports.
At the raucous Real Sports out in the hallway.
We're going to try to get Mac back in on the program momentarily here. I imagine the mood is still quite high, but Mac, would it be safe to say that maybe some patience is starting to wane a little bit as we're like, just draw the spheres? Please and thank you, Mac. How's Real Sports, pal?
Yeah, Adam, you're pretty accurate with that take, I think. The entertainment has been, I guess, good, but people are kind of scratching their heads waiting to see how much longer there is to go, honestly. I'll take you inside just so that you guys can see. I'm in the hall right now. Hold on.
Get our mugs off the screen. We want to see this big party.
Here we go.
The walk-in. This is good.
Ooh, and then they've got someone's holding the door for Barwell. So we're going live inside Real Sports in Toronto. And lots of red. Mackenzie
Let's
Barwell
look for people that we know.
Sports. That's right. I've spotted a few CPL staffers already, which doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
Oh, they got the invites. I guess ours got lost in the mail. Okay.
This is my favorite game right now. Let's see how far behind our stream is. So we've got, I think we're about 10. That's actually better than I thought it would be because they've got the live cable. Rio Ferdinand has stepped onto the stage now. Mackenzie Barwell upstairs at Real Sports. 81 times capped Rio Ferdinand for the Three Lions.
Make sure you don't get anyone's face on this shot because the people might have skipped out of work. You go watch this, it might just not be showing up after lunch.
That is the
live experience, you guys.
Authentic. Mac, we know you to be nothing but authentic, so we appreciate the tour. That is, by the way, the fourth time I've heard the "it's football, not soccer" joke in this draw already, which tells you how long we have been on the air. The Rio Ferdinand is on the pitch. I think we're introducing some of our draw assistants and conductors. Mac, what apps have you crushed, by the way?
Okay, they've got these like mac and cheese rice ball situations.
Yeah. Yeah. Take some of those home. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
So I think the appetizer. Wait, did you say apps?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
It's just like
I wish I didn't,
entrees.
because it would have been so much funnier for you to just start talking about mac and cheese balls, but I digress.
Yeah, at least there's that to keep us entertained while we wait. But you guys, credit to you. I'm thinking about you while we're waiting over here.
Nah, it's okay, man. Do your thing. Do your thing.
We're good.
We're
We're having a
enjoying it.
great time.
Yeah, it's
It was-
fantastic.
Nowhere else I'd rather be.
All right, you guys. Thank you.
Okay, so the update, Mackenzie, thanks for joining us. Catch up with you in a little bit. I think they're going through the procedure now, explaining how the draw will work. Rio Ferdinand with some English school children, how many teams, etc., etc. There's a joke about Rio being old and that there's 48 teams in the World Cup now. So there's the explainer video on screen. Again, 12 groups of 4. And they're going to explain what we know about the confederations not being able to match except for 2 UEFA sides. I want one of those World Cup trophy lapel pins. That's what I want. They should have flown Wheeler to sing the Canadian national anthem. Nobody
Here we
wants
go.
that. Absolutely nobody.
Are
wants
I feel like
you
you do
kidding?
well.
Did you see those anthem singers at the World Series? You don't think I could do a better job than that?
that. No.
I would probably get the words right. Probably.
There's a greater chance than not that would be the case indeed.
Thank you. So, any other questions? Let's just take some questions. Let's go. Who's got questions? Some good questions about Canada, about the draw, about some of the team. Good question. Why isn't Ryan Reynolds hosting this?
Agreed.
I think that would be inappropriate. Again, my response, Nick Neum, would be that this isn't really Canada's World Cup, unfortunately, as we're seeing today. But I think Ryan Reynolds would have been a great shout. Even Rob McElhenney, he's a really entertaining guy. Always sunny, brilliant.
Okay, so
did you see
Jordan
anthems?
Wilson, I just
What's
want
up,
you to
baby?
know I'm
Yeah,
trusting you
I did.
entirely. I need to go get some water so I can speak once the
Yeah,
show
yeah.
starts.
We'll
Yeah,
take
that's fair.
You are in charge of steering this ship. I'll be back in 2 minutes. I hope we're
Jordan
still on the air
is?
when I return.
Oh,
Jordan
This is
is.
going to be great.
I know
This
it's
is
been
gonna
fun.
be
We've been
great.
waiting for him to finally host.
Come
got
on,
this
Jordan.
early.
Go on. Go on, Jordan.
All right,
What's
so
that
this is
picture
what
on his screen? Is
Which
that him?
picture? Who?
The screen next to you. Is that Adam? In that little
Ooh.
picture right there.
Oh, the picture. It is Adam.
Is it Adam?
It's
Wearing a
him
suit? Is a professional shot?
with a little burgundy tie. So how do we really feel about Adam Jenkins? Let's talk about him right now.
One of one.
Dude.
101.
You said YYT and he said, "Oh, St. John's."
Yeah. How
Like
did
he
do
didn't even
that?
hesitate.
Yeah.
Crazy. Who do you
just-
think? Who do you think's gonna choke this World Cup? If you think out of any of the North American nations, is it Canada, Mexico, or the U.S. right now?
I have
Change,
the
right?
I have the biggest questions about the U.S. I
I think
do.
they're gonna kick it into gear. Truthfully,
Well, they have been. They've been on really good form over the last over the last few windows. But I mean, when you're playing friendlies and the games against the teams that you're playing against, I think that we've learned that those most recent games that Canada played, like it's tough because in the window that they did very well against Romania and Wales, it was the second most important game in the window for both those teams, right?
yeah.
And then Colombia rotated when they played, different side for Australia. Venezuela was like an experimental team. So it's tough. I think I know the one thing I know about Canada is how they're going to play. And I don't love the way they play all the time, but at least they're playing to their identity. And I think that's where they're going to kind of put their success in that basket, just being able to play in transition, play a physical brand of football, being able to push the tempo and allowing their speed and athleticism kind of guide them. Like that's how Marshall wants them to play. I have more questions about what the output will actually look like for the United States, which players will be part of that, and which players are most appropriate to play that. So I think Mexico is moving in the right direction. I think Canada, I'm not sure. I think the other two teams have a higher ceiling than Canada, if I'm going to be brutally honest about that.
Sure.
I think that Canada, just based upon the way that they play, I think that they have more predictable outcomes, if that makes sense.
No, it does make sense. I think people take it to heart when they're like, "Oh, Canada." People want Canada because they're kind of like thinking that they're a favorable opponent. But I think that's a fact. Like that doesn't mean that Canada can't have a successful tournament. As of right now, though, when you're looking at it, the U.S. they've made a run in this tournament before. Mexico they've made a run in this tournament before. Canada have not. They haven't won a game. So based off of that, they're going to be inferior. I don't know if you're seeing it now, Wheels, but we have Gretzky taking the
Oh, yeah.
stage, and hopefully that means
Dude.
that this is moving on.
I did two things with my football kits growing up. The one thing is whenever I had a collar, I popped it up like Cantona. And sometimes
Cantona.
under my kit, if my kit didn't have a collar, I would I put a collar underneath and pop it up. Because and by the way, Dwight York wore it as well, being a massive United supporter. But the other thing that I've always done is even when I used to go out, like when I was a young man, I would just tuck in just the front of one side of my shirt, and it'd be the Gretzky. So now the Cantona and the Gretzky, the great one, man. That guy, legend
for real.
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal's making his way onto the stage right now. We just
Shaq's funny. Shaq, I understand why they're trying to like cross promote with American athletes and Gretzky, a Canadian one. But Shaq's a funny guy. Like that's the best show on TV. Is the Inside the NBA with Ernie, Chuck, Kenny, and
Shaq. They're great.
Shaq is great, man. I've always loved Shaq.
Yeah, so, he's a personality for sure. Very smart man.
Get it up.
Guys, the way this is moving though, I might get some snacks. Like I'm not gonna lie.
Look at that! Like Shaq could have like stepped on Kevin Hart.
It's crazy. He almost attacked him.
I fully just fell walking up the stairs, so I'm bleeding for this show. Scared the living daylight.
Yeah, tell us about the fall, bro. You can't tell me you fell and not.
Stubbed the toe and then onto my wrist, and I was like, "Did I just break my wrist?" I am literally bleeding for this live Draw Watchalong powered by Moneris and maybe powered by Alberta Health Services if I keep this up. My goodness, whew! It was a wake up call though. I feel like I just had a Red Bull, and that's just the pain.
Yo, that's stubbed the toe. Wrist fall is the worst.
Yeah, it was not good.
The worst.
So Chad,
here's a question. Would you want to see like the Pro Stars up? Remember Pro Stars back in the day?
Yep,
the cartoon with Gretzky, Bo Jackson, Michael Jordan. It's like Gretzky and Shaq. And would you rather see those guys or would you rather see soccer greats? Because I understand that this is
a football
this
program.
is pandering to like a North American audience. But I always loved about these draw events, like they bring on the greats from previous World Cups because it's the global game. It's not the American game. So I understand why they're doing this. I just would have much preferred seeing like the players who have made this tournament what it is be paraded on stage.
I told you guys about the 06, right? And the legends that were there like 20 years ago. Like this is the time for that, right? You don't have to go that far back, like 10 years ago. That would absolutely be the time. But look at the legends, like the Zidans, like those type of guys is the time to see it. You get it, Brady, Shaq, like Manning, all these phenomenal athletes, right? We get it, and stood for so many things. But yeah, footy is the global game. You're so right, Wheels. It'd been nice to see some footy stars, some footy.
If I were those guys, I'd feel uncomfortable. Like when you just come out of your comfort zone, like you're trying to bring, like you think that people that are up here in this moment like know something about what they're talking about. They probably feel a little bit uncomfortable talking about. There's only so many cliches you can say. Oh, this is going to be huge. It's just like a Super Bowl every day. Blah blah. But when you're out of your element, like football, soccer is a very specific audience. So I don't know if they're hitting all the right chords here. If I'm just gonna judge it from the outside.
So I know I say this as someone wearing a pink blazer at the moment. Are they at a funeral? Why is everyone dressed in like
black's
what
clean.
Are they mourning? It's clean. It's clean, but it looks like I don't know. I guess it's the Oscars to them. It's their Oscars. All right, so now we got some montages. Canada, we got some Canadian. Oh, that's a great Umbro shirt. I miss those Umbro shirts. Those were cool. I do, yeah. And those blue ones, I wish they would do a limited run. Get those Umbro blues back for a match. You know what my favorite story is, Jordan, about that Umbro shirt?
Talk to me.
You remember our pal Ian Hume?
Of course.
So at one of the media bathrooms near the Tunnel Club at BMO Field in Toronto, they have like photos of the different teams and sporting events that have come through. And above one of the urinals is the starting 11 photo, and it's Ian Hume every time you need to go to use the washroom, staring you right in the face. And when I was working with him, I was thrilled to tell him that story, and he was not necessarily loving the placement of that starting 11 photograph. So I think they're going through all of the teams in pot 1. Maybe we can get the pots back up on the screen for those who might not remember. We got, of course, the 3 co-hosts who have been drawn into their groups already. That was 3.5 hours ago by my quick count. Spain, Argentina, France, and England. This is all done by the FIFA World Rankings. And then Portugal, Netherlands, Belgium, and Germany. And then it's really interesting. I think it's March 31st, the end of that window, when we're going to know those 6 playoff teams that get into.
Go on, Wales! Go on, Wales! Come on!
I am actually dying for a Wales-Canada rematch, certainly after the comments from the Welsh manager after the fact.
Bro, and now that Jamaica are going to get a real manager, I think that Jamaica will qualify. No,
dude.
We lost Jordan.
Jordan, no. Jordan told us he was getting snacks, and I don't blame him. He's going to be back in time with snacks just for the start of the draw. We got to go Ireland from Scott Shannon. I mean, if your last name is Shannon, you got to have an Ireland there. Albert Hers says my first Arsenal shirt was Umbro. What else we got here? Once again,
I still have like Umbro kit around the house.
It was so good. Yeah, Beach Tory, 2012 Canada Blues. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. That was one of the best. The Centennial shirt was absolutely gorgeous. Anything else going on in the chat?
I think Jordan's
was Aaron Judge the
out.
Best player from the MLB they could get? I think he's probably up there. Someone's questioning Aaron Judge and if he was the best baseball player that was available.
Well, Shohei Ohtani would probably be the best one, but
I think that's a weird way for you to say Ernie Clement, but I digress. Please show Jordan's soccer ball poster to fill the dead air. He turned his camera off. We can't do that.
I like Rio Ferdinand's suit. That is a good looking suit.
It's a good suit. I still don't know how I feel about the buttoned up no tie. I just don't think I can pull it off with the big the big collar.
Be having this up here today, but my Calgary 88 sweater is just way too tight.
Okay, Jordan, what are the snacks as we get
going deep? Well, I don't know. It's like a sponsorship issue because I'm about to put some brands up there. Like this YouTube, it's no holds barred. It doesn't matter.
Okay, here we go. Brazil, the first nation drawn from pot 1.
Okay, serious time, guys. Now we're drawing.
Brazil.
We are drawing. It's 127. We are drawing. Yes.
The balls are being mingled, as Johnny Infantino said. So now
the mingling of the balls.
So Brazil goes into Group C, position 1. Next up from Tom Brady.
Group C.
Someone's got to make the deflated balls joke for Tom Brady. Like they're trying to be, that would be great.
Deflategate.
Germany is the next club. Pardon me. The next nation drawn by Tom Brady. 21st World Cup appearance for Germany. That is ludicrous.
Yeah, I never wrote them out. They got some good young players coming in.
They're a weird team, aren't they?
Musiala's coming back.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, they had some poor results in recent vintage, but
okay. So we
good
have
manager.
Germany, Group E. The Dutch are going to.
I just always like Germany at every World Cup. I feel
the Dutch were absolutely my team as a kid when Canada and Wales were nowhere to be seen. I have so many Welsh shirts.
Big players, man. Also great kit.
Oh yeah. That orange is sharp.
They're like the other, like if you're in Vancouver or Toronto, you want the Dutch coming to your city. Honestly, the Dutch army, army is fantastic. Yeah, honestly, a ton of fun. Bring noise. I hope that we here in this country step up our game just in terms of chants and songs and just organization. I mean, these other countries have a big head start on us, but yeah.
Okay, so Belgium goes to Group G. Question in the chat, who's updating the overlay? That would be producer Armin, who's working furiously behind the scenes.
Shout out to Armin. Let's take a moment. Shout out to the boy. You do work, man. Always.
Kilo likes the Oranje are cool. Eric Lapalme agrees the Dutch. Yeah, they're like the Dutch seem like everyone's like second or third team. Just a fun team to watch and support.
Unless you're from Belgium or France, probably
Well,
don't like them.
Yeah. Although to be fair, Gareth, your team was England when Wales weren't in tournaments, and I know that you have family.
That's because
there.
my family is
Blasphemy.
third on the pecking order. Third.
Okay, Spain goes to Group H, and drawn into Group I are the reigning champs, Argentina.
Are they going to win it back-to-back, guys?
No.
Be the third nation to do it? Wheels, talk to me.
Who, Argentina? I don't think so. I
No?
don't think so.
So this is the 2026 Live Draw Watch Along. It's powered by Moneris. If you're joining us on the YouTube live stream, thanks for being here. We are just getting into
They'll be in the mix.
assigning the Pot 1 teams to their groups. We are through to Group K now. If you are not able to watch or listen into the actual draw, of course, it's our job to tell you who's being drawn. And you'll also see at the top corner or top side of your screen, we will be updating the groups live as they are drawn in, so you can follow along. This is France. How much does Tom Brady's watch cost, by the way? Like a solid $250,000?
Dude, do you know how much he makes on those NFL broadcasts? I just
the Fox money, the Raiders owner.
Crazy. Okay, so if Canada is runner-up in Group B, they play runner-up in Group A, the winner of Group F. So Netherlands, that's okay. Runner-up Group C, the Brazil group, okay. Winner of Group E, Germany. I'm just looking this side of the bracket. What if they win in Group A? Winner of Group A plays third place, and then winner of Group L, Portugal or France, would be.
It's a lot of work.
I'm just like working my way through what the bracket would look like.
No, we appreciate you, really. It's needed.
Portugal's gone to Group K. That puts England in Group L.
So, round of 16 potentially. If Canada wins their group and then you go on and play a third place game, that would be in Vancouver. You then go on and play. Winner of Group B. Winner of Group B in Vancouver. You'd play the winner of Group K, which is Portugal. So Canada, if they win their group, could potentially play Portugal in the round of 16 if they win their group. So that is relevant in terms of what this looks like here.
I need some of that sweet Welsh redemption, that's for sure.
Mad Portugal. It could be Portugal in Vancouver on July 7th. There you go.
So Bradley Henry asked a good question. Who are the favorites where they have to be in separate paps? So the top 4 teams in the FIFA World Rankings had to be separated so they could not meet each other too early. It was one of the changes that FIFA made to try to avoid having a big upset in the round of 32, which
so
I mean,
Canada would be on Argentina's quadrant of that bracket if they win Group A. And then Group C, Brazil would be on the other side of that draw, that lower half of the draw. Up in the top side. Sorry, we're just doing this as it comes up, just walking you through this. Then on the other side would be England and France, right? Does that make sense?
I think I'm with you so far.
Anyways, that's the way it looks. So, I mean, Canada, Portugal, if Canada win their group, if Portugal win their group, if they both beat a third place team, which if you're winning your group and based upon how watered down the 48 team World Cup is, you expect that group winner playing a third place team that they could probably comfortably move on from that. You could be looking at Canada, Portugal, July 7th, round of 16 in Vancouver.
That's right.
So
they win the group. They're up.
That'll be tough. It just so happens Cristiano Ronaldo in Vancouver.
If they're the runner-ups in Group B, they would get the runner-ups of A, like Wheels mentioned. That would be in Inglewood at SoFi.
And then they would play in the round of 16 if they beat that said runner-up, the winner of Group F, which is Netherlands. So that's, they've played them before. Wasn't that Jesse Marsh's first game in charge? 0-0 through 45 minutes, ended up losing 4-0 in that game. So, yeah.
It's from Oliver Platt, who's
England
in
Group
the
L.
OneSoccer WhatsApp chat. England in Group L, 2 of the 6 games in that group are at BMO, so that could be a very pro-English crowd there.
Love to see that.
That'd be good.
That'd be great in Toronto. Just got to see where these other games are.
So we are going through the teams in pot 2. Those draws will come up next. Who's going to be pulling the spheres for this group? Do we know?
Nope.
Someone wearing a black suit, I bet. The Socceroos. Get in there, Mitch Duke.
We are told it's Shaquille O'Neal. Let's see.
Jack.
Let's see how he handles the sphere.
Surely
the
they
opening.
gave him a custom-sized pot to fit his glove of a
There's a
hand.
chance Germany could be playing in Toronto as well. We don't know the schedule yet, what that looks like.
The schedule will be released tomorrow, Wills?
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. And yeah.
So we've got in
What
pot
would Gareth
2,
consider a success at the World Cup? At least it has to be at least round of 16.
Yeah.
And I mean, it has
Round
to
of
be at
16?
least that. It has to be. You have to get out of the group, obviously, and then you need to win.
So
a
minimum is
knockout
getting
round.
out
At
the
least. Minimum
Minimum.
is round of 16.
Really?
You got to win a knockout round game. Yeah, this is a home World Cup, man.
All right. So
other
Shaq's
than
first
Qatar
draw-
and South Africa, every team has got out of the group in the 32-team World Cup, which is much more difficult.
Shaq's first draw is Korea Republic.
And then they got to
Like this pot too. Like I don't want any of them to be honest. That's a scary pot.
No, I'll take
them on.
Australia.
Bring on anyone. I don't.
So
I'll take Australia.
Korea Republic going to Group A with Mexico in the 3rd position.
Korea, man, South Korea, very difficult at the World Cup. They're a team that I look at because they're all extraordinarily fit. They can run. That was
I don't want them.
their success in a home World Cup in 2002, and they've had some good results, decent results since. They've been competitive. I think that they'll adapt really well to the conditions here in the summer in North America.
So Canada's first opponent in the group is Switzerland.
Switzerland's in Group B.
Switzerland goes to Group B.
Had a good World
position
Cup draw.
4.
Had a good.
Don't love
Had a
that.
very good World Cup qualifying campaign
Don't-
and a
don't
perennial
love that.
team. They beat France in the Euros in
Hey!
the knockout round a couple
No.
of years ago. I think this is a type of matchup. I know everyone was looking for glamour sides. They're just a very difficult team to break down. They're good in transition. I think that could be a
Like that.
very difficult opponent. What's Starbucks saying? KJ and I called Switzerland. How can you call Switzerland? It's the luck of the draw. You can't call anything. You can say, "Oh, I
boys.
think it might be," but like it's like saying, "I think that I might have pizza for dinner." Yeah, I might have chicken or a hamburger as well. Come on, Starbucks, get it together.
Early contender for a group of death. Morocco was just drawn into Group C with Brazil. So who's going to join the Americans? Australia.
There's no group of death in this World Cup. There's a group of near death. There's no group of death.
No, there might be still.
Group of suffering.
No.
There might be. We'll see.
And we'll say now Morocco is like expected to do something. Like going back to back, like I think it helped them that the last World Cup was in Qatar as well. So it might be different this time around for Morocco. You guys are ahead of me, so you need to let me know where teams are going.
I got you. Okay, so we're going into Group
Where
E
you at, Will?
next, depending on who's drawn from Shaq here.
This is the worst because
Ecuador joins the Germans.
you're a bit ahead of me.
Oh, does it go in order? Okay.
It goes in order
Aussies.
unless there's a conflict.
I think Aussies is a good matchup for the United States, to be honest. That's a good draw for them. I think certain teams that they'll play better against, but I think Australia is a good draw for the US.
Yeah, I wish we got them, but hey.
So that's Germany,
Ecuador.
Group E, Group F.
Correct me if I'm wrong. That's a rematch of the first game at the 2006 World Cup, Germany, Ecuador.
Samurai Blue, Japan join the Dutch in Group F.
Ooh, they can win that group.
Look, already it's starting.
I like Japan. A lot of these
Starting to be a group
Japanese
of death.
players also play in the Eredivisie or come through there.
So that is position 2 for
we also
Japan.
keep an
in
eye
Group
on
F.
Group F as the group of death.
Or what was the one from
Group
Red
F.
Wolf? A group of eternal discomforts instead of a group
Yes.
of death. I don't mind
No.
that.
Group of near death.
Near
Not
death?
Near death.
Okay, Belgium gets
I need to take the
Islamic Republic of
royalties.
Iran.
Who does?
That's Group G. Belgium draws the Islamic Republic of Iran. They will be in spot 3 in Group G.
Iran, like, just never do anything at a World Cup. And Belgium, I think they're beyond their best before date as well. So if I'm anyone in pot 3 or 4, I'm looking at pot G as being the place I want to be.
Okay, next up is
Look,
Spain.
they're not-
Spain draw Uruguay.
Nice.
So that's
That'd be a
Group
fun one.
H. Spain, Uruguay. Uruguay go to position 4
Bielsa
in
will
Group
have a
H.
trick or two up his sleeve. Uruguay lacked the star power that they had maybe when Suarez and Forlan were prominent, but they're still a very good side. Valverde.
I'm with
Madrid
T-Stock
man, he can run
79.
for
No
days.
easy teams in pot 2. Agreed. Totally agree. Okay, so we're on to France. This is Group I going into position 2, and it's Senegal. France, Senegal,
Saw them in
Group
Toronto.
I so far.
Oh, that's going to be a game.
That's going to be a hell of a
That
game.
is going to be a game.
Wasn't that a rematch of the 2002 World Cup when Senegal
at
beat
you.
France, right?
Look at you, really.
There you go. Bro.
That's my. I know
I'm
you
old.
can remember all of them, eh?
I'm
No, but it's just dope that like you've been to World Cup, but you could also like remember certain times of them.
All right, Group J, spot
first
number
row.
3 to join
How'd you
the
do?
reigning champions. Mr. O'Neill has it's Croatia, Colombia, or Austria, and it's Austria who join Argentina.
Shout out to Ralph Rangnick. The guy knows how to manage. That team's all action, as my dog's crying.
Shout out that stat, by the way. Finished 3rd in the 1954 World Cup, Austria.
Did they?
I remember it fondly.
That is wild.
All
We're
right,
going
Group
back.
K with Portugal. This will be spot number 4. It's Croatia
By
or
the way,
Colombia.
on Switzerland, let's just mention they're only one of 2 European teams that have reached the knockout stage in each of the last 6 international tournaments. So a good tournament team. And the only other side that's done that from a European side that's done that is France. So it's their 6th consecutive participation in the World Cup. And Murat Yakin is their manager. He's done a nice job with them. So a team that they don't sound as dangerous as maybe some of the other prominent ones in pod 2, but I think that they're a pretty decent side.
Okay, so Colombia goes in with Portugal in Group K, and it's England, Croatia in Group L.
Okay, so Colombia, and we were saying that if Canada get through and win their group, and they could play Portugal, who are in Group K, could play them in Vancouver, but Colombia could win that group. Like Colombia is good, probably the best team from pot 2, in my estimation. Jordan, you think so too?
Yeah, I think so. I'm just looking at pot 2, but like just for Canada's sake, and you're like, man, this is not a great draw, Switzerland. Like, it's not. You gotta be someone good though, right? You had a World Cup, but there are a couple countries I would have put ahead of Switzerland.
England, Croatia again. I just feel like I've seen that game a million times. I don't think that England would have wanted to see Croatia. So
You're joining us on the 2026 live draw watch along powered by Moneris. 2 pots have been drawn. You will see them in the overlay above our heads. We're halfway through the draw at long last. Group A, Group G, pardon me. Belgium, Iran. Spain has Uruguay. France has Senegal. Canada has the Swiss in Group B. That was their first opponent drawn. Undefeated Switzerland in 2025. They beat the likes of Mexico, the United States, and Sweden. So they're heading into a World Cup here in some good form. The draw right now is introducing the nations in pot 3. Perhaps we can get that on the screen in a moment here, just so we'll see who will come through and be drawn coming up next. So we're looking at Norway, Panama, Egypt, Algeria, Scotland, Paraguay, Tunisia, Cote d'Ivoire, Uzbekistan, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and South Africa. And this is where we might start to see the draw not be brilliantly straightforward, because you cannot have nations from the same confederation with the exception of UEFA. So we might see, for example, in Group A, we might have to move that to Group B.
I'll tell you, I know that it's being convention to say Norway because they have Erling Haaland, they have like Sorloth, they have a number of very good players. The teams that I don't want to see in Group C are Egypt, Algeria, Tunisia. These teams are a pain in the ass to play against. They're defensive. They're tough to break down. I'm serious. Like, Canada wants to play teams that play more wide open attacking football, Jordan. Yeah. They do. They don't want to play those teams that are just comfortable sitting back in a low block.
I said this on OneSoccer Direct. I said that. But I think, I'm missing one, though. I don't know if you agree with me, but I said another African team in Ivory Coast. I said, no chance. Yeah. Also playing them. I'm like, nah, like avoid that if you can.
Yeah. So, that's just my general rule, Jordan, as I said the other day. Just avoid AFCON if you can.
Yeah, no, you're right, man.
Scares the living daylight out of me.
Trust me.
Okay, so the first draw will be...
Who's in this plot again? Who's in this
plot? 3?
Scotland.
Okay, we got Norway, Panama, Egypt, Algeria, Scotland, Paraguay, Tunisia, Cote d'Ivoire, Uzbekistan, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and South Africa.
Yeah. I mean, the easiest two, I think, would be Qatar and South Africa. Uzbekistan is emerging. They might not quite be there yet. But South Africa or Qatar would be like the weakest teams that they can play.
My brother-in-law informs me that Uzbekistan are the football manager players' darlings. So take that for what you will.
They've regularly done well in the under-20s in recent times. They're growing a lot of money on football. They're moving in the right direction.
Okay, so the first nation drawn is South Africa, one that Gareth would have liked to have seen. So they'll join Group A. So that's Mexico, South Africa, Korea so far in Group A. Canada's group is next.
That's a good draw for Mexico. I think Korea will be competitive, but I think Mexico will be confident playing at home that they can beat either one of these.
So Canada cannot get Panama here. So if that's drawn, they would go to Group C. All right.
Let me know, Jenko.
Qatar.
Oh, come on, get in.
Need a bit of fortune.
Oh, that's nice.
Give me some Wolf Blitz or Cutter. Nice. Let's go.
Now, we say this again, you don't underestimate your opponents, but based on some of the potentials, we will take Qatar.
Look, and we're panning to Jesse Marsh right now. He's doing a backflip inside.
And guess what? In that game being in Vancouver, you might be able to get tickets to that game because I don't think that Qatar is a big draw.
So Aaron Judge has just drawn Paraguay, so they can't go to Group C because Brazil's there. So they'll go to Group D. So it's USA, Paraguay, Australia.
Oh yeah, right. Good draw for the U.S. too.
Yeah, they're doing well.
I think these three CONCACAF nations all pretty straightforward. I mean, 48 teams. It was probably going to be pretty straightforward, anyways. But yeah. I mean, Canada, I think Switzerland are a really good team, but Canada will be favorites to win this group.
So the first match for the Americans is against Paraguay in LA. It's USA, Paraguay, Australia. So depending on who Judge has here, this would go to Group C with Brazil and Morocco. Cote d'Ivoire. So it can't go to Group C. So they go to Group E. The African champions join Germany and Ecuador in Group E.
Tough group.
Wait, what did you say about Canada being favorites to win the group?
I think they're favorites
right now.
Right now, Switzerland. Yeah.
I've been hurt before, but I'm feeling pretty good about Group E so far.
Nah, man. The Swiss guys.
Gareth, you called that match, didn't you? The Canada-Qatar warm-up friendly.
Yeah. In Bahrain.
That's right. Okay, next ball.
Qatar were bad at the last World Cup. Really bad.
So he's
got
Tunisia.
About Qatar. This is Swiss, man.
Tunisia can't go to Group C because of Morocco. So they'll go to Group F, the Netherlands, Japan, and Tunisia. They will be the fourth position of Group F.
Did Tunisia play Japan in the last cup?
From the chat, Qatar 3-2-6 in 2025, lost to Palestine and Zimbabwe in the November window. Next ball from Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
We're still looking for someone for Group C, by the way. Egypt. So again, Group C is skipped, and they're laughing at the Kennedy Center because Group C is just
Wow.
left alone. So
Did you know that Yulen Lopetegui is the manager of Qatar? I had no
did not
idea
know
until
that.
right
No, I
now.
didn't.
So it will be Egypt, Belgium, and Islamic Republic of Iran in Group G.
It's a great draw for Egypt.
Yeah, man.
I'm
Make it
telling
move.
you. Egypt
Salah
are going to
is
be a pain. They're
thrilled.
just Mo Salah right now is coasting with Liverpool, man. He got his contract last year, was on fire. We got AFCON coming up.
Okay, does Group C get some company? Yes, they do. Scotland get Brazil
Scotland.
and Morocco, and Aaron Judge is not loved amongst the Scots right now.
Ooh.
When he drew Qatar, that might have been the first time Torontonians cheered for Aaron Judge, to be fair.
It's good. Scotland have Scott McTominay. They can play with anyone.
Scott
Let's be
McTominay.
honest. Scott
I mean, the
McTominay.
goal he scored against Denmark. This guy's on a different wave. That's probably one of the best bikes I've seen.
Mixed sauce? Oh, yeah, man.
After David Rodriguez, I presume.
That's unreal.
So
Yeah,
Brazil,
obviously,
Morocco, Scotland, Group C. We're moving on to Saudi Arabia.
So I'm saying hopefully the Swiss are in Toronto. They will not be. Swiss and Qatar both playing Canada in Vancouver. We know that. Who's ever going to be drawn out of pot 4, Canada will play in Toronto.
So the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to Group H with Spain and Uruguay.
Saudi Arabia, remember, did they beat Argentina last World Cup or was it a draw? I think they won. They beat Argentina.
They won, 2-1.
They did.
Yeah, 2-1.
2-1.
Okay, we got 4 teams left in pot 3. Aaron Judge has drawn Algeria, who cannot go into Group I with Senegal. So this will be Group J, Argentina, Algeria, and Austria, Group J.
My buddy just messaged me. He's Egyptian. Egypt in a shit group. Nice.
Oh, the roller
This is the
coaster of
best.
draw day. Okay, so we're down to Norway, Panama, Uzbekistan. Panama
England wants
could go to Group I.
Panama. They always just destroy Panama.
Uzbekistan can go into Group I. So they're with France and Senegal. Uzbekistan ranked number 50 in the world, the most recent update.
Look, I like Group J. 3 teams that start with the letter A. I like that stuff. Argentina, Algeria,
Nice alliteration.
Austria. Is there another one in Group 4? Pot 4 with an A. Azerbaijan kicking around or Albania?
Oh, stand by. So because of pot 4, Uzbekistan has to skip Group I because of who they could be drawn with. We're looking at the Interconfederation playoffs. So Uzbekistan actually goes to Group K with Portugal and Colombia. Panama is now drawn into France and Senegal's Group I.
Hold on, what?
Actually, can that even happen? I'm curious now because Norway.
This is way too confusing for me, man.
So England, Croatia can't get Norway.
So they get Panama.
Correct. So England, Croatia, Panama, Group L. And then Norway goes to
in with France and
France
Senegal.
and Senegal. That's a heck of a group.
Guys,
Jordan Wilson.
look at that. No, what was that? Group E? F?
The which?
Sorry, with Senegal, where are we? Oh, no, that's Group I. Never mind.
So France,
Yeah, I'm having a
Senegal,
hard time
and
tracking,
Norway.
My brain.
Panama's just going to get crushed in Group L, by the way. Even like this is a New England. I don't think they're going to be like their opponents in this one.
Okay, we've got 3 pots done. Let's rattle through them all. Mexico, South Africa, Korea Republic, Group A, Canada, Qatar, Switzerland, Brazil, Morocco, Scotland, USA, Paraguay, Australia, Germany, Cote d'Ivoire, Ecuador, Netherlands, Japan, Tunisia, Belgium, Egypt, Iran, Spain, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Uruguay, France, Senegal, Norway, Argentina, Algeria, Austria, Portugal, Uzbekistan, Colombia, and England, Croatia, and Panama through 3 pots.
Taking a player right now, getting interviewed. Yeah,
baby.
Hooray! Yeah. Dangerous.
All right.
Rio Ferdinand, appropriately awkward as you'd expect him to. Okay, pot 4, ladies and gentlemen. Producer Armin, can we get the pots on the screen? S'il vous plaît. And this is the one, of course, that gets really interesting because you then need to start looking at the potential playoff winners, both in UEFA and the Interconfederation. Jordan, Cape Verde, Ghana, Curacao, Haiti, New Zealand.
Canada can't get Curacao, Haiti.
Correct.
This is who they don't want, is Ghana. You don't.
Now,
want
Canada
that.
can get a second European team. In fact, they
Yes.
will almost certainly get a second European team at this point, unless they get lucky.
That's where I'd really like all these playoffs to be done by now.
Yeah, I think it's very anticlimactic.
Teams.
You're like,
I
okay,
mean-
here's the draw. You need to wait 3 more months to know who's in the World Cup.
So I'm just going through just in terms of like games in Toronto, obviously Canada versus whoever they get in pot 4. Germany or Ivory Coast could be in Toronto. An Ecuador game could be in Toronto. Norway, France could potentially be in Toronto. Senegal versus someone could be in Toronto. England, Croatia. There's a chance England, Croatia could be at BMO Field in Toronto, or Panama and someone, or England. England, Panama, and Croatia are very likely one of those, like those 3 teams to play in Toronto at some point. Yeah, and then for Vancouver.
So the 2
this is huge
Interconfederation
right here.
playoff pathways, New Caledonia and Jamaica. Jordan, would Jamaica self-implode if they lost to New Caledonia?
Yeah.
Yeah, they will.
Ranks number 149 in the world. Cool flag, though.
But like, I think it's a
DR
secure
Congo
win. I
gets
don't.
Ghana. No.
JFA, I don't. I'm like,
So Canada, Qatar, and Switzerland, Canada are both in Vancouver. We know that for a fact.
The
Looks
most
like Australia could play in Vancouver, potentially Belgium, Iran, for Chad, potentially Egypt, Belgium, and Iran. Like all of those
Come on,
ones
Gretzky.
will look like they're going to be playing in Vancouver.
All right, number 99 has drawn Denmark, North Macedonia, Czechia, Republic of Ireland. So that can go to Group A. Yeah, I think
all right,
that can
guys,
go to
come
Group
on.
A.
This is huge. Come on.
So
Look at that ticket.
Mexico,
Look at all the countries on.
South Africa, Korea Republic, and then one of Denmark,
my
North
God.
Macedonia, Czechia, and Republic of Ireland.
All right, let's see.
Gretzky, who is on thin ice with some Canadians, knows he's very nervous right now
he should
because
be.
he's drawn the ball potentially for Group B. It's another playoff team. Italy, Northern Ireland, Wales,
Italy,
Bosnia,
come on!
and Herzegovina.
Yes,
Goes
go!
to Group B. Canada, Wales. Craig
That is
Ballard,
wild.
If it's
Fellas,
Italy,
if
if
you're
it's
watching.
Italy in the first game of that tournament, I want to see Italian Canadians.
Nah,
Where
this
is your
is wild.
loyalty? Where is
This
This
is
is going to be
wild.
a referendum for
This is wild.
Woodbridge, for Vaughn, for all my friends.
Wheels, you're getting ahead of yourself.
This
You're
is the
getting ahead of
first
yourself.
time Jesse has
Wales
looked a little
could be
nervous, by the
playing.
way.
Stop
That's
this,
what I
Wheels.
said. I hope it's Wales and Craig Bellamy.
Bro, woo.
Okay, so Canada gets
It's not Italy and Toronto yet. Don't
Playoff
put that up
A.
on soccer. I said
Wow.
if.
Marsh.
They might lose to Northern
correcting.
Ireland. That is an awesome draw. This is a very
Wow.
good draw. No matter who they play.
Group C, Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, and Scotland. 3 groups are now solidified. I
is
want
crazy.
Canada, Wales so
Bro,
badly.
Andy Petrillo, what does she do?
This is wild.
It's a consolation in case the Welsh don't make it. Shout out to Bosnia as well. So they're in that mix, right? Northern Ireland.
Okay, Group D. We've got
That's exciting.
Curacao.
That was an exciting draw.
Now,
right
the
there.
U.S.
I'm so
can't
happy for
take
that.
That was
Curacao.
exciting.
So Curacao go to Group
Wales.
E with
Wheels,
Germany,
you still
Cote
feel like
d'Ivoire,
this is
and
Canada's group?
Ecuador.
B? Their favorites?
Yeah. Yes. Got to win this group.
So Germany, Curacao, Cote d'Ivoire, Ecuador, Group E.
I feel good about them making it out the group.
Hey, dude, I think Scotland has a chance in Group C here. I think Scotland has a chance. Yeah.
Oh, because of Haiti.
Yeah. Like they got one. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of.
Okay,
weak
so
teams.
Group D is still looking for a 4th team. If they get Jordan, that would work.
Curacao. My God, all these teams are just gonna
Happy
try
for
to like Germany. Like I remember last World Cup, they ended up drawing Costa Rica, right? It was like a really, really poor performance. But all those teams in that group, they need to try to beat Curacao by like 8. I'm telling you.
Okay, Group D gets the winner of the 2nd playoff. That's Iraq, Bolivia, and Suriname.
Bro, Jenko, what if Canada plays Wales at the World Cup? Not a
I will
friendly
lose
in
my mind.
Swansea.
I don't know this draw could have gone any better for me, though I would have liked New Zealand as well. That would have been fun.
Instead of Qatar?
No, instead of that UEFA playoff.
Oh, got you.
My oldest nephew will be old enough to finally, I think, follow a little bit. So I'd love to
Nice.
razz him insanely about the All Whites. Okay.
Bro, if it's Italy,
Cabo Verde.
Italy.
Verde.
Toronto.
Shout out. Who
This
was
is so wild.
who was our Cabo Verde CPL who played for Pacific?
Oh, dude, there's a guy
Was it
there's a guy that played for Ottawa Fury for years. What was his name?
Wasn't it Gianni?
Yes, Johnny Dos Santos. Thank you for that. Yeah.
No, but there's another guy that played for Ottawa Fury back in the day too.
No, from Cape Verde. I know what you're talking about, Wheels.
Okay, so Cabo Verde joins Spain, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. The 2nd playoff path went to Group I, so that's France, Senegal, Norway.
What's that playoff path to? Who's that?
Playoff path 2 is Iraq, Bolivia, and Suriname, I think.
Just 3? One of 3 teams.
Jenko, check the chat, puppy.
Check the chat. Kevin Oliveira, Cape Verde, Ottawa Fury. There we go.
Yeah, I knew that there was someone. Thank you.
Okay, so UEFA Playoff C, Turkey. I never know how they Turkey A, I think, is what they want to be known as now.
Turkey.
Turkey A, I think they want to disassociate.
Turkey's
like
be
Czechia
decent,
and Czech
man. They're
Republic.
decent. They got to shout out to Arda Guler.
So the
Guy's
U.S.
a
finally
baller.
have their 4th and final
Baller.
nation. It's USA,
Ooh.
Paraguay, Australia, and winner of UEFA Playoff
Yo,
C.
they got a good group, you know.
US?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's manageable.
Okay, so next draw on Ukraine, Sweden, Poland, Albania.
Yeah, they got a good group, man.
That can go
all,
to Group F.
all three CONCACAF teams have decent groups.
It's true. Canada's is decent, but like again, they're not favorites. We'll argue about that another day on OSD. No chance.
You think Italy? If Italy or
Switzerland.
Wales?
Switzerland. What are we
Welsh?
doing? The Swiss.
I know the Swiss always find a way to get through.
The Swiss
Okay,
are nice.
Netherlands,
They're
Japan,
very good.
Albania.
Very
Tunisia,
good team.
Ukraine, Sweden,
Man,
Poland.
Sweden's like qualifying campaign, an embarrassment, an absolute embarrassment.
We have 4 spheres left to be drawn. Jordan cannot go into the group with Egypt or Algeria. So they should go to Group K with Portugal, Uzbekistan, and Colombia.
Netherlands, Japan.
So that should be.
Time to look. If
Is
Canada,
is Jordan in the AFC?
Jordan Wilson?
No.
So if Canada don't win their group, they play runner-up from Group A. Korea, Mexico, South Africa, and then
Jordan is in the AFC. That's my apologies. So they have to go to Group J with.
You said if they're runner-up, Wheels, they play who?
Runner-up. They play the runner-up. If Canada doesn't win their group, they play runner-up.
Thanks, chat. You're right. You're right. I stance, dude. You're right. Who we got next? So playoff 1, Congo, DR, Jamaica, New Caledonia.
Man, Argentina is gonna walk Group J. Oh man, like
they go to Group K. So that's
Congo,
Portugal,
Jamaica.
Uzbekistan, and Colombia that the first playoff pathway goes to. So that leaves us with Ghana and New
Colombia
Zealand.
and Portugal are just going to obliterate whatever teams are playing here.
All right, we know the draft. We know the final field now. Ghana cannot go in with Egypt, so they have to go to Group L with England, Croatia, Panama. New Zealand will join Belgium, Egypt, and Iran. That's it. Draw's done.
Man, there are going to be some games that are absolute woofs. Like, honestly, this is what I was kind of worried about. Like, if you're going to be spending $3,000 on a ticket,
it's inevitable, though, Wheels. It's inevitable.
Imagine you get like Uzbekistan and New Caledonia.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Wheels. Looking at England's group, like this is not obviously they're still gonna make it out, but like it's not Croatia, the Black Stars.
Yeah,
okay, yeah, Panama. Like, okay, but it's not. These aren't easy games, man.
Watered down World Cup. Yeah, absolutely. See, I told you there's no group of death. I was like, this whole conversation was just mind numbing. There's groups of near death, but no group of death. What would be the best group? Maybe what's that playoff pathway? I don't know.
What about F? Netherlands, Japan, Tunisia, and was it Pot B?
Tunisia never show out and play well at World Cups. I think they're decent enough. There's no groups.
What's the other one?
I don't know, man.
It's Group F, and was it Group I? Norway, Senegal, France. Maybe it's that one.
Yeah, maybe that one. Who's that play PO2 again, Adam? Who's
PO2? Player.
So PO2 is Bolivia, Suriname, and Iraq.
Who?
Suriname, Bolivia, Iraq.
Yeah, no, that's easy.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is 12:07 Mountain for me, 2:07 Eastern for Gareth and Jordan. The draw is finally over. All 48 nations and playoff pathways have been
2 hours and 7 minutes later.
We did it, ladies and gentlemen.
I love all these comments. Like even I like threw it out. Like Canada could play Italy and Toronto. People are just thinking it's like a fait accompli here. It's like Canada,
they have a lot of work to do. Like
they lost to North Macedonia.
They have a lot of work to do.
Then they haven't been.
Honestly, guys, I'll call it from now. It's looking like Wales, man. Which would be a great.
Northern Ireland had a very good campaign, qualifying campaign.
Basically, I'm saying it doesn't look like it's not Italy. That's what I'm saying. The Italian people can get at me, but it doesn't look great. As of
Jenko, Wales, Italy. We gotta go. We gotta go. Like if it's Wales in Italy, one and done to qualify to play Canada in the first game of the World Cup. We gotta go, Jenko.
For the people at home, it's Northern Ireland, Italy, Bosnia.
Yeah. Bosnia. Wales. Wales plays Bosnia at home. Does Italy play Northern Ireland at home? I believe, and then the winners play each other.
Woo-wee.
Let's pull it up. So March 26th, Italy hosts Northern Ireland in Bergamo. It'll be Wales, Bosnia, and Herzegovina in Cardiff. And then on the 31st of March, when the window ends, it looks like that match will be played in Cardiff anyways, if at least Wikipedia is to be believed. I imagine that has to do with scheduling, but I digress.
Seating.
And seating, yeah. All right. So
Petrillo is going to be nervous.
Okay, so it
Nervous.
sounds like we have Christian Jack ready to join us from Washington, D.C. So we're going to bring KJ into the program now.
KJ!
KJ, the 2026 Live Draw Watch Along, powered by
What's up, buddy?
Moneris. Christian.
2 hours
Jack.
and 10 minutes here on the stream, KJ. 2 hours and 10 minutes, man.
Yeah, you guys are secrets. I'm sure there's a lot more fun in here.
We had someone in the comments earlier asked the question, who would win the OneSoccer Peace Prize? And the answer is Christian Jack, if there was to be anyone. KJ, what do you make of the days so far? Obviously, there was a lot of pomp, a lot of circumstance, and at long last, we finally know the groups.
Yeah, finally get to the football side after the nonsense. I think it kicked off at 1:26 after a 12 o'clock kickoff. So we were delayed a lot longer than we were in the snow in Ottawa, waiting for the actual game to happen.
It's true.
Good point.
That was a long delay of nonsense, and I'd rather watch the snowfall than what we had to watch here. To be honest, yeah,
Ottawa was fun.
Ottawa was fun.
Thanks for the clarification, Wheels.
Yeah, so wow. I mean, I'm just getting my head around it. Obviously, there's a lot of things happening here. I have a bit of a pick. I don't know if you guys do.
Yeah.
Are you speaking from an English or a Canadian perspective here?
Oh, no, Canadian.
It's fair. So
it's just
Talk to me because I know what he's about to say.
I don't know if you knew that. You probably did know this. You guys, there was one moment that Gretzky had those balls, and there's like 3 of them that were not going to be Canada, even no matter who they drew, and
Correct.
he just had to pick one of the 5 other than that one, or one of the 4 other than one, and he picked the one that I didn't want him to pick. I mean, I know after this there'll be months and months and months about breaking it down. First of all, I just want to say I wanted a team that we knew we were playing.
Yes,
for
the unpredictability is
for
unfortunate.
importance of promoting the sport to people who want to know and ask about the question. The World Cup draw. Who's Canada playing in the first game? Well, one of 4 teams.
It's nonsense.
So right away, that just crushed me. All along, I didn't want that game. I didn't want a UEFA playoff, and we were one ball away because the other ball had to go in the USA part anyway.
Correct.
And then the other one had to go later, so it was literally like that chance there, and then it was disappointing. Sorry, YMCA is going on here right now. I don't know if you can hear that.
What are you apologizing for? The Village People now performing at the Kennedy Center. Of course
What year
they
is
are.
it? 2025. Of
This
course,
has been
Village people.
undeniably the most bizarre World Cup draw I think I've ever seen for a variety of reasons. But as the YMCA is happening, let's talk a bit about Group B some more. So we know that Canada has Switzerland, Qatar, and one of Italy, Northern Ireland, Wales, and Bosnia and Herzegovina. Wayne Gretzky, who probably could have used a little bit of a win from Canadian supporters, might not get it today based on his draw that he picked. So that's the TBD, KJ, until March the 31st. But in terms of the opponents we do know, Switzerland, Qatar, does that side of the group give you a little bit more confidence?
Yes, I love the fact that they've got a winnable game. It's very important. They have a very, very winnable game. Let's be honest. It doesn't matter how pessimistic or how positive you are about Canada. I think we can all agree that if Canada can't beat Qatar in a World Cup, we've got a problem at home, right? We've got a big problem.
Of course.
If they can't beat them, right? Okay, so let's go to some of my numbers that I have here. You win a game in the World Cup in this format. By the way, they're only getting rid of 33% of teams after the group stages. So you win a game in this tournament, you go back to 86, 1994, where it's the same format as percentage teams. You win a game, you got a 50% chance of getting in. So if the below bar right away is Canada, let's get to the knockout stage. Today, the summary is they can get to a knockout stage. They can get 3 points, right? Now, we don't want them to just win that game. That comes to the other discussion. When they got Switzerland, I didn't hate it because Switzerland don't play. They want the ball, they'll play. And that's a decent opponent for Canada. It's not a decent opponent in terms of they could have got far easier games. But the fact that they'll have Switzerland play the game, play the third game, they could be already through. So that's why I was hoping for an inferior opponent for that first game, because Canada could have been on 4 points at least going into the Switzerland game when Switzerland might have been resting players. And then suddenly the group's open to win it, right? So look, there's a lot of factors in it. Things can change, but that's just my initial thoughts on all of it. Qatar, I think they should be happy with it. But other than that, it's a tough one.
KJ, quick question for you right off the cuff. Sorry, Jenko.
Yeah.
But do you think they're favorites, Canada, in this group, how it stands right now? Obviously, you don't know the fourth team or the fourth team, but
Can't do
you
that.
think they're
I
favorites?
can't do that.
No?
I can't do that. You
This
got
is something that we're going to be asked for the next. Do you need to wait till you see the fourth team?
Yeah, you'll need to wait for the fourth team, but you got a Switzerland team who are like tournament savvy. They know how to do it. They just know how to win games. It's like Yakin's a great coach. They were very good in qualifying. They didn't play anybody too difficult, but they know how to navigate group stages. Their problem is knockout stages. They never won a knockout game in the World Cup.
Yeah.
But they are a group stage team. Kind of being at home, I mean, look, it may be a 50-50 thing, depending on whoever that other pathway is. And that's a big question mark, no? Like, at those teams, like, if that path is Italy in that first game, from a footballing point of view, everybody watching the country getting up for that game, it's marvelous. We couldn't have asked for a better game. But from a sporting point of view, Canada versus Italy to start the World Cup, it's not a good start for Canada. They don't want Italy.
You're saying that, KJ. I don't even know if it's gonna be Italy.
It might not. That's what I'm saying. Right?
I hear you though.
All right, Christian Jack joining us from Washington, D.C. This is the 2026 live draw watch along powered by Moneris. We appreciate you joining us. So Canada, we know their group, or at least most of it. Let's zoom out and get some thoughts on the rest of this 48-nation World Cup. I'll come to you first, Gareth. From the ones that are drawn, I know you're saying there is no group of death. Is there a group that intrigues you the most outside of Group B, or one that you think might provide some good matchups or some upsets?
We're just doing this on the fly here. Perhaps it's England's group, Group L, with Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. And two of those games will be played in Toronto. I think that's really interesting right away, because we know what kind of tournament team Croatia is, and we know what type of tournament team England's been. But I just think that this England team under Thomas Tuchel is just a much different team this time going in, and I think that they're deserved to be named one of the proverbial favorites to go on and win the tournament. I just want to go back to the Canada situation, because KJ, I think it's just important to reinforce that the inherent advantage of going on and winning the group is that you stay in Vancouver, right? Like that's it. But I will say this, the round of 16 draw, like if you stay in Vancouver and you play your two knockout games there, you play a third place team, and that could just be about anyone. And you're presuming in an expanded 48 team World Cup that the third place team would be that much weaker. But then the two top teams in the group that you would play would be either Colombia or Portugal. Both of those teams, I think, are amongst like the top 8 or 9 teams that will be considered favorites to go on and win the World Cup. I just think that that's where you need to pick your poison here. Win the group and you stay at home in Vancouver, KJ, or you can play the runners up from Group A, which isn't great, and perhaps a different path may open up throughout that tournament. I just wonder if you're looking at things that way a little bit more now, because obviously there's inherent advantage of playing at home, especially in a World Cup where weather and climate's going to be a big deal as well. Just kind of how you weigh maybe those two different paths that Canada could potentially take, depending on who's in their group and pending the results.
Yeah, again, a couple of things from a sporting point of view. The what's best for the team is obviously, winning the group, and then you would hope to get, a reasonable third place team. It's good that they get a third place team. Now, from a sporting point of view, if they finish second, the good news is they paired with Group A, which has turned out to be one of the easier groups. So if they are to finish second, Mexico, South Africa, Korea Republic, one of Denmark, North Macedonia, Czech Republic, and Republic of Ireland, nobody would fear there to play in that first game. Now, from a big picture, non-sporting point of view, if Canada does finish second, what worries me a little bit is that it's the first game of the knockout stages. And if it does go downhill and they don't win that knockout game, Canada are out before everybody else has played a knockout game, which is effectively meaning they're the 13th team knocked out in the World Cup. And it's all about building the story. You conversely trip it on the other side of the coin. If they win their group, the last 32 game is the last knockout game going. So you carry that story on for a whole nother 4 days of Canada being in the World Cup. You're watching all the knockout games, and suddenly you get to the last 18 in the World Cup, and Canada is still there. So they're still there to carry that story going on, and that's why I think that's really important. You play the last game. Now, to Wheels' point, if you win that game as a group winner, you then get to play Group K, the winner of Group K going forward in that last 16. And regardless of the outcome, we would all sign up for that. Colombia, Portugal, like that would be just that for me, that is Canada's finish line. Like, I don't think of anything going beyond that moment. That they're in dreamland already. It's fantasy land playing in a last 16 game, right? So, but it's getting out of the group and it's getting a winnable last 32 game that can captivate this nation to keep that storyline going for me.
Jordan Wilson, back to the question about the groups that stand out to you. I know we all kind of celebrated when we saw the Swiss's name drawn, just considering who could have been drawn in for Canada. But obviously, there's a lot of groups here. There are 12 of them outside of Group B. What intrigues you the most?
Yeah, you guys have to help me a little bit, because what's the group with was it France and Senegal?
Do you want me to hammer this out for you, pal? Because I can.
Yeah,
do that
a little bit.
Senegal,
I like Group I. Again, Wheels was right. There's no group of death, but the near death one, or the group I'm excited.
So I'm
to
calling
watch
it, KJ. No group of death. It's
group of near death.
Groups of near death. Near death. There's no group of death.
You can't have a group
teams.
of death in a 48 team World Cup.
Thank you.
Group of near death.
My guy.
Group of near death is I.
KJ.
That's France, Senegal, IC Pathway 2, and Norway. KJ, I know you got to run. The mix zone is calling. Any final thoughts from the day, from the draw, or any parting wisdom you want to leave for the viewers today?
Congratulations to the three of you for sitting through that for a long time. That was the biggest achievement for the day for me. I am going to go to the mix zone. The mix zone and see what I can get from Jesse Marsh and others. I'm then going to go to the Canadian Embassy, see there's a press conference there with Jesse Marsh and players. So I'm going to try and get some clips up for the viewers on OneSoccer. And depending on how the day goes, I'm also going to try and jump back on later tonight and do another StreamYard, just go through some notes and reflections for the evening crowd. So I'll be back hopefully later here from DC. So let me go find out. And maybe I can try and get in Thomas Tuchel's here to find out whether he feels like going to Toronto, because that's really exciting. The fact that England or Croatia will play, it will be England or Croatia, or England and Croatia will play in Toronto. I know the games will be made out tomorrow, but we do know that already. And on the other side, Belgium, Egypt, Iran, New Zealand, 3 of those will play in Vancouver as well. So I think a big part of this for me is just that it's not just Canada, right? Canada are playing the games and we're all willing it on, but the games are coming to Canada and who will play in Canada. So I think that's interesting. The other thing I just remembered, I think it's Australia. It will be to Turkey, BC. Romania, Slovakia, Kosovo, a BC place the day after Canada play on the 12th.
Sorry, KJ, say that again for the people at home. England or Croatia will, or both of them will?
They will. One of them will definitely play. 3 teams in that group will play in that city.
Yeah, KJ, what I was going to say, we've done this before. The other frustrating thing about the way that this draw is played out in 4018, like the schedule isn't being released till tomorrow. Every time we've been able to plot right when a team is drawn exactly where they're going to play and when. So this has been a little bit of a frustrating exercise. So we need to practice patience now for 24 more hours. They're just dragging this out, KJ.
The good news is, though, you can go on if you've got tickets for the games and go on, and it's basically one or the other. And if you look at the way the draw's made out, there's a city basically assigned to each group where one team can play twice. And in my opinion, FIFA will reward the seeded team, the pot 1 team. So that's what I think. If you look at it, if you go through it, like, for example, Group I looks like it's East Rutherford. I'd expect France to play 2 games there. Group K looks like it's Houston. So there's a lot of things you can play out. It is frustrating, but thankfully for Canada, at least we know the pathway of it. We'll see what Jesse Marshall has to say about that. But he did tell me recently he does not have a lot of luck in draws going over the Champions League.
Not some luck today. You got Qatar. There's a little bit of luck.
There was certainly a look on Jesse's face when he saw the fourth nation or pathway picked into Group B. Christian Jack joining us live on the 2026 live Draw Watchalong. Make sure you subscribe to OneSoccer across social medias for KJ's reports. He is off to the mixed zone to go interview basically whoever he can get his hands on to try to get some reaction to the draw that we now know. We appreciate you having been with us over these last 2.5 hours. We will head to Real Sports for one final time shortly. We will hear from Mackenzie Barwell, who is trying to get a lay of the land from the Canadian supporters at that viewing party, one of many from coast to coast in this great nation. But before we do, let's go.
There it is. There it is.
Group B, Canada, Qatar, Switzerland, Italy, Northern Ireland, Wales, or Bosnia and Herzegovina. That is the group. The first match for Canada in Toronto will be that.
Are we
European
hoping, or
playoffs.
like, okay, outside of my bias coming from Welsh lineage, are we hoping it's Italy? Like, I wonder
I would
what the
say
consensus
probably
amongst
Bosnia.
In what way,
Canadian
though?
fans is. Like, what is the mindset of Canadian fans? Do we want to see like a really big opening match of the World Cup? I guess a team in Italy, I just don't think that they're what they have been in previous tournaments. Or do you want the more winnable opponent? Like, what do you want to see? I'm curious. Yeah, there we go. Great job putting this up at OneSoccer. Do we want to see Italy, Canada to open the World Cup in Toronto? Yes or no? It's an easy question. It's a simple question.
It's not.
Wales.
There's so many layers to it.
Well, because we're Welsh. Like, we
Okay,
want to
fine.
see that.
From
No,
a
but,
purely
like, there's so many
sporting
layers to
perspective,
it.
Gareth, I think I'd rather see Bosnia and Herzegovina. If I had to handpick in terms of who I think Canada has the best chance of getting a win from, would be my guess.
The Asmir Begovic revenge game? Is that it? Is that what we're calling this?
Mainly for Luke Wildman to really to flex his pronunciations early in the tournament, for sure.
Decided to play
Look,
for Bosnia and Herzegovina.
I've said from the beginning of this tournament, I don't want to draw a team that will have a bigger crowd or bigger pull than supporting Canada. And if Canada draws Italy, like BMO will not even, there will be no red or white. Like, what do we do? Like, that place will be.
FIFA certainly wants it to be Italy for the
Does
resale.
Northern Ireland still do the Will Grigg? Will Grigg's on fire. Your defense is terrified. Will Grigg's on fire.
They
and
still
everyone else
there.
made it their goal song after, even though the Northern Irish, they're the ones. They're the real ones.
Okay,
Will
Group
Grigg
B,
is
back on the
fire.
screen if we may. I want, we're going to go through the groups and we're going to pick some favorites. Who's going to come through?
That's what we're doing?
That's what we're doing.
What are we doing?
We are picking the
How much longer is
in
this
each group.
never-ending
45
live stream
more
gonna go?
minutes.
Oh,
We are
man.
never.
I
Okay,
think Mac is waiting.
They've changed the plans on us again.
Yeah.
It's a constant. It's a constant juggling match. We have
Well done,
Mackenzie
Jacob.
Barwell, and
Overtime
I
pay.
think she was stuck with Charlie
to
O'Connor
interrupt you
Clark.
guys. Irregularly scheduled programming here.
Take over. It's your show.
Unbelievable.
It's yours.
Charlie
It's
O'Connor
Charlie's
Clark,
fault.
CanPL.ca, Mackenzie Barwell, OneSoccer reporter. You guys were at Real Sports this afternoon in Toronto. Let's go maybe team by team as Group B was being taken. What do the two of you make of the reaction from the supporters as the Voyageurs learned their potential World Cup opponents?
Okay, so I think the first one, we heard Switzerland.
Yeah.
It was relatively tame, I would say. It didn't feel very passionate in terms of the response.
not a lot of people are super passionate
about Switzerland.
But I think everybody was like happy with that.
Yeah.
Like, if that's one of the European teams that we're gonna get, then that's a manageable one. Right?
It felt like a sigh of relief a little bit, and then maybe, shoulder shrugged, a little bit of indifference. But I think we'll take what we can get, especially with the Europeans. So, and then the second, I should say, Qatar. That one I felt a little bit more of an uproar.
People were fired up. I mean, it meant that we avoid Norway, which I think was the number one thing people were trying to do. And Canada's played Qatar and beaten them at a time when they were better than they are now, when they were preparing to host the World Cup, and Canada beating them in that friendly. So I think that's another one that people were okay with.
I will say, when we found out Scotland was in a different group, I felt a wave of disappointment.
Yes, there were a lot of Scottish fans in this party, which was interesting, but I guess not that surprising.
Yeah, true. And then also when it came to Ireland, I felt like I look back and you were a little bit sad
I was
about
deflated.
it.
I was deflated. So if Ireland do qualify, you know what, guys? I might be headed to Mexico.
Yeah,
instead.
we'll see Charlie in Mexico. Okay, our last draw when it came to the winner of the European Playoff A group, I felt like we were a little bit scared when we saw that.
Yeah, everybody in the room instantly knew what that meant because there's a lot of Italian soccer fans in Toronto, and a lot of them instantly knew that would mean Italy playing here in Toronto on June 13th. But I think everybody's really excited. That from a Canadian perspective, it's a little scary but exciting. I think they can still win that game, but people were very excited at the possibility of Italy playing at Beaver Field.
100%. There's like an excitement, but there's that in combination with a lot of this, like a lot of hands in the head, just like, oh my gosh. But yeah,
it's fun. You want to play it. You want to play a big team like that, a big historic team. I think that's what you want. You don't want a World Cup group like the American group where it's just all teams without a lot of World Cup history, teams that you can beat.
That was a conversation I also heard at least a couple times walking around. Like the Americans have it easy, it's boring, it's but I don't know. We'll see.
Mackenzie Barwell, Charlie O'Connor Clark joining the 2026 live draw watch along powered by Moneris, checking in live from Real Sports.
I think people are underestimating Switzerland, man. This team, all they ever do in tournaments is get out of the group. 6 consecutive ones.
Good squad, man.
6 consecutive times. Squad. Like, you know, I think that they're going to be a difficult opponent. So.
Charlie, any other groups you're salivating over? I know you have some familial ties, and you mentioned sort of who you might be looking forward to.
Back to a 38-32 team World Cup. That's what this reminded me of.
Absolutely. No, but I mean, obviously, if Ireland do qualify, them playing in Mexico would be fun. But that group that's France, Senegal, Norway, and intercontinental team, that one is terrifying.
Group of near death, baby.
That group's going to be a lot of fun. Those are some big games. You know, all 3 of those teams are, you know, at least probably in the 2 or 3 best in their pot. So I mean, that's probably the group of death.
Am I allowed to make the first the ICU group or the group ICU?
What's with all the Norway hype, man? Norway, they haven't qualified for anything just because they haven't Holland.
Jenko, go ahead, man.
All right. Norway hype. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying the Norway
Barwell and O'Connor Clark both deserve a pint. I think it's late enough in the afternoon. We'll go get one.
They've been drinking.
You guys do.
They've been drinking. They deserve a pint.
This is vodka, Barwell. We've been at this for a hot minute. All right, we'll let the 2 of you go. Thanks for joining us today. We appreciate you bringing us some color from Toronto, one of the Voyageurs viewing parties from coast to coast. It's Charlie O'Connor Clark and Mackenzie Barwell. Gentlemen, I know that I mentioned it earlier. We're going to get to it now. Let's have a look at the groups, group by group, and you are going to make your way too early, inappropriately timed selections for the top 2 in the group. I will even let you guys cheat and just say who's the top 2 instead of who's winning. But if you want to be bold, as I know you 2 like to be, we can also do that as well. So I suppose we should probably start with Group A and just go in alphabetical order. And a reminder,
these are hard, man. Who's Path D?
Mexico, South Africa, South Korea, and then Path D. Garrett, since you asked so nicely, that is the UEFA. And we are looking for, pardon me as I pull it up, Czechia, Republic of Ireland, Denmark, and North Macedonia. We know the Macedonians are Ollie's darlings. Who gets through? I think Mexico. I mean, Mexico's always under pressure, right? Like South Africa, South Korea. I can see Mexico finishing second, Korea winning the group.
Yeah, I'd say that.
If Denmark's not a bad team. By the way, like in that game against Scotland, when Scotland qualified, I thought Denmark was the better team in that game. Scotland just scored a couple of outrageous
magical moments.
That Denmark is tournament tested and proven. So I think that Denmark, none of those teams want to see Denmark. Mexico have a lot to prove. They're playing at home. They're going to be under pressure. I may put South Korea ahead of them.
I think the Korea Republic also wins the group. Yeah. Agreed. Group B, Canada. We know the UEFA path that they face, Qatar and Switzerland. Canada, Switzerland. I know we got some maple leaf tinted glasses on right now, but I mean, you never know who comes through UEFA. They could always be a challenger. Jordan?
Switzerland is, for me, going to top this group. But that doesn't mean that Canada's not going through. It's just where, right? It's just where. Can they finish that second place spot? But yeah, Switzerland for me, I gasped when they got Switzerland. I'm like, you don't want this squad. Like I could pick a couple teams or countries I wanted before Switzerland. I just don't like that they got them, but we're here.
Herb,
I think Canada can win this group. I think Canada can win this group.
I hope you guys are right. I hope so. And look,
I'd like to see Wales. I'd like to see Wales. So I think this is a group because Qatar, the Curacao group, like I think 3 teams will go through this group.
Group C, Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, Scotland. This was looking like a group of near death to me as it was developing. I mean, I think it's hard to look past Brazil or Morocco. Either you fancy a Haiti or Scotland?
I don't know. I think Morocco is going to be hard pressed to recapture what they did last tournament. I think Scotland have a puncher's chance here. I go Brazil, Scotland. I think Brazil, Scotland. Things don't work out always straightforward. I think Brazil is just too much class, too much quality in this group. I think Scotland got a chance.
Morocco's too strong of a team. They're up there. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good, Jordan Wilson. You are so good.
I don't think so.
Group D features the Americans, Paraguay, Australia, and UEFA Path C, which features Slovakia, Kosovo, Turkey, and Romania. Gareth Wheeler, who do you like?
If Turkey gets through, I think that Turkey's a decent side. Australia?
I'm always up on the Socceroos. So do I think
they're
it's
next
likely?
World Cup, man.
Tough to play against.
I don't. Yeah, like it's a decent shout. And look, the Americans, even though they're favored to win that group, when they play Australia or whoever's in UEFA Path C as well, they're gonna give them a game.
The American, like they're gonna get the rah out, but man, like that relationship between the players and the media and their fans as of late, like it's been like the country very divided. So I can't put any stake in the U.S. right now. Yeah.
Paraguay finishing their year in San Antonio, beating Mexico 2-1 after losses to the U.S. and South Korea.
I saw them in 2010 at Ellis Park. That was cool. Roque Santa Cruz.
Group E is Germany, Curacao, Ivory Coast, and Ecuador. This is screaming to me Germany, Ecuador. Do either of you disagree?
Yeah, I disagree. It's Germany, Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast is going to beat Ecuador. Remember I said it. Remember this day. Remember this time. It's going to be Germany first. It's going to be Ivory Coast. That still doesn't mean that Ecuador doesn't make it out the group.
We saw Ecuador. Like I love them at the last World Cup. Jordan, we watched them at BMO Field a couple of weeks ago. Like it's not much in terms of ideas going forward. Ecuador just like difficulty. I think all three of those teams are getting through this group because I think they're all just gonna like absolutely destroy Curacao. So 3 teams will go with. I think there's very little jeopardy in this group.
Ivory Coast second though.
We got Jesse Marsh joining the TSN broadcast. If anything topical comes through, I'll be sure to pass it along to the stream. That takes us to Group F, the Dutch, Japan, Tunisia, and Path B. Path B, Ukraine, Sweden, Poland, and Albania. Jesse Marsh now saying the same thing that Jordan's been echoing, saying, I don't want to see any Italian colors at BMO if they get through. Good luck. There's going to be a heck of a lot of Missouri in the crowd.
Good luck, man.
Dutch and Japan,
you won't
clean
see
sweep.
A single color red. Yeah, you're right, Jenko.
Wheels disagree. I can see Japan winning that group.
Yo, Japan's a top side.
Sorry, who's the other team?
Netherlands, Tunisia, and Path B. Path B is Ukraine, Sweden, Poland, Albania. None
of those teams are. Netherlands.
The Poles lost me in the last World Cup and some of the last Euros. They've been absolutely dreadful.
Really?
Shit, man.
Group G, Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand. This is a tough one.
This is a group of life right here. This is
eternal.
This is just wow.
He said a group of life.
This one, Group G, is the spot. Group G spot. That's it.
The U.S.'s group is easier than this one.
No. This
Who do they have again? The U.S.
The U.S. are Paraguay, Australia, and Path C. Path C is Slovakia, Kosovo, Turkey, and Romania.
Oh, because Turkey could do it. Never mind. You're right. If Turkey get in, then but if not, then yeah.
Listen, from last year, I want to take Belgium, I want to take Egypt, New Zealand, but I've learned to not doubt the Belgians.
Yeah, you can't do it. Sorry.
Spain, Cabo Verde, Saudi Arabia, Uruguay. I mean, Saudi, based on what happened in the last World Cup.
There's a lot of games I don't want to watch, man. There's a lot of games that we're going to have to watch that I don't want to.
This feels like a slam dunk. Uruguay.
Group G, H, oh my God. Yeah. I'm being honest here. I told you, unvarnished truth. There's going to be a lot of bad games at this World Cup.
Yo.
Spain, Uruguay. Oh my gosh.
Group I, Group ICU, as I'm trying to get started here. France, Senegal, Norway.
I's decent.
The Interconfederation, playoff pathway number 2.
Yeah, just
Bolivia, Suriname, and Iraq. France, Norway. I don't know. Now Senegal.
France.
Jordan,
help me out here. Senegal top 2?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I backed them. Look, they were good the last World Cup as well. Yeah. I back Ivory Coast. I gotta see where Ghana is. No, sorry, Ghana. But Ivory Coast and Senegal, yeah. Top 2 for sure.
Mbappe and Holland is right. We're getting a vote from
which I like to gamble. If you haven't noticed, whoever they play is that third team. Mbappe or Holland have a chance to like rack up some goals. Like,
and I think
it's the betting markets.
Worthy of noting as well that after points for the best third place teams, it's goal differential. So you're going to see some teams just try to beat the living snot out of their opponents, like 7, 8, 9 nils.
Bolivia can only play at altitude unless I don't think there's games in Denver. So, I mean, are these games in Mexico City a little bit more? But like, yeah, Norway still have some questions about. So
takes us to
France,
Group
Senegal.
J. The defending champions Argentina, Algeria, Austria, and then Jordan ruined our alliteration. Not Jordan Wilson, the nation Jordan, famously in the AFC. Top two, Argentina, Algeria seems like a pretty close to a slam dunk.
Yeah, it feels
I
good.
like Austria. I love the football they play under Ralf Rangnick. I think they, but they run and they work. They work exceptionally hard as a team. So yeah, I don't know much about Jordan, to be honest with you.
Nah, they're the weakest one, obviously, in the group. Algeria, for me, yeah, that game against Algeria and Austria, I'm tuning in for sure because that's going to be a quality game.
Group K, Portugal, Uzbekistan, Colombia, and the Interconfederation Pathway 1, featuring New Caledonia, Jamaica, and Congo DR. I mean, Colombia, Portugal.
It's going to be Congo. Democratic Republic of Congo. They have some decent players. It's got to be. But, I mean, you have two heavyweights. I consider Portugal, Colombia, two of the top 8 or 9 teams in the tournament.
Look, we said
it's relevant because
they
could play a round of 16 game in Vancouver. So that's a game that could be coming up potentially against Canada or whoever wins Canada's group. So just who do you like more, Portugal or Colombia? I mean, Colombia just don't concede goals, man. They're going to be a tough team. Portugal, so many dynamic. I don't think Roberto Martinez is the greatest manager, to be honest with you. And you know, Ronaldo's swan song is going to be a big story. So
TSN has a live vote going on. Who will win Group B? Canada 52%, UEFA winner
we need to stop doing that.
27%, Switzerland 15%, Qatar 5%.
We need to stop doing that. 52%?
53% now. It's constantly updating. Okay, that takes us through the last group, number 12, Group L. England, Croatia, Ghana, Panama. I also think
this is the best group. This one's the best group right here. Group L. Yeah, I think it's all of these games I watched. All of these games
England, Ghana.
You know, but you like Panama. I feel like,
because when England played Panama like a couple of World Cups, they smoked them like 6-2. But this Panama team is much better.
Different. They've been good the past few years.
Much better. I don't think they'll beat these teams, but I think they're
still bottom of the group.
Competitive football though. England,
honestly,
Croatia.
I love this.
I think England's going to win this group.
I love this because, like, I think the Black Stars, they play up. So when they have to play a Croatia, when they have to play England, like, again, they still might fall short. However, the quality within the side and they're hungry. Yeah, I like that they're doing this. Because sometimes when you play, if you're Ghana and you have a group where there's teams you must beat, similar to Canada, you lay an egg. But if you have to play up every single game, yeah, they could actually show up and do their thing.
Yeah, I mean, they just... like in recent World Cups, they just haven't been very good. Like we're thinking about back to 2010 when the Blacks, I mean, they were a story. Like they were unbelievable.
Yeah,
they galvanized the continent. But I'm just not sure. Like they can see more goals now than they typically have. So I think England, Croatia. I think Panama can maybe beat Ghana, especially with the games being played here in CONCACAF. So, but I'm interested in this group. I think that all the games will actually be pretty decent.
All right. This has been the 2026 Live Draw Watch Along. It's been powered by Moneris.
Are we done?
We did it.
Love
2 hours and 42 minutes of fabulous content. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us from airplanes and someone on
shout out Calgary.
We had St. John's. We had everyone joining us. So we appreciate you. We will be back OneSoccer will with the Bundesliga on OneSoccer tomorrow. Where we will include some additional thoughts on the draft itself. Who is it tomorrow, Gareth? Bayern and Stuttgart?
Stuttgart, yeah, should be. Dude, these games are goal fest when they play one another. We'll also talk MLS Cup, go Caps tomorrow afternoon.
Big one,
White Caps,
big one.
Inter Miami. So, and the World Cup draw. So we have plenty going on. Join us from 9 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow morning. We got you covered.
Okay, fabulous. Well, for Jordan Wilson, Gareth Wheeler, Mackenzie Barwell, Charlie O'Connor, Clark, Christian Jack, and Oliver Platt. My name's Adam. And we're glad you joined us today on the 2026 Live Draw Watch Along powered by Moneris. So long.
Jenko, take care.